this is building nicely. Both sides out on the ground doing their warm-ups for the Gem. This is the Triple M Sunday Run. What are you laughing at, Doug?
Oh, you know what? I'm just wrapped to be at a big game for the MCC.
So it's been a big week at Triple M. Obviously, some internal memos going around, and then Duck sending his article through, and then JC also reminded everybody to come with something for his brand new segment, Hitch Your Caravan. He even got the producer to send us a reminder this morning to make sure we come fully loaded for Hitch Your Caravan.
On Triple M Sunday Rub.
Do it for a caravan.
We're hitching the caravan.
Kick us off.
Yeah, no, I think it's only right that the two boys who said they'd come fully loaded this week start
It's getting hot in here.
start the segment, because what the listeners will sort of work this out by now, but normally I go first and then Joey goes first and then Brownie, because we've all prepared something, and the two learned gentlemen to my right and left, well, it gives them time to think of something. So anyway, this week they said, we talked about it last week,
Well,
RFI.
I'll lead it off, Doug. I'll take the hit. I'll give you some time. But look, it's not really feedback, but it's sort of an insight just to our listeners. Sometimes, we don't get the red carpet treatment, don't get the car park pass underneath. So, I actually go, Ewan sends it through, and I think it's a car park pass. I go, thank you. And then I read it. It's just an entry to the northern stand, right? So then I'm getting here, and I thought I'll park around the ground. There's 4-hour parks. All the punters have taken them up. I thought I'll drive in. I might get bogged. So I'm coming in the car park. It says staff only up the top. And I almost dropped my bun. I put the window down, and the bloke goes, I said, Triple M. He goes, come through. He said, but give the MCC staff a pump up for being kind and generous and letting me in. Yeah. So I'm hitching my wagon to the MCC staff.
This is tenuous. This is tenuous.
And the kindness and the welcoming. And you know what? That's what makes you...
So you parked underneath today?
No, I've been shunted out to the front. That's what happens when you talk over commentators. But I can't dip my lid. I'm hitching my wagon to the service of the MC.
So more importantly, if Ross isn't getting the car pass, I didn't get a car pass either. Who got the 2 car passes on offer?
I haven't had one all year. I'm way down the food chain.
I'm underneath, and I saw you go underneath.
We got one. You weren't giving it out to family and friends.
Well, I did see Ewan here, so maybe Ewan's kept it.
I saw you going.
Hey?
I saw you going.
How do you get underneath?
I got a season pass.
Why?
Interesting.
How come?
I just know people.
Right, must be it.
So, look, I
good people
compliment to the
MCC.
staff. They don't get paid a lot. They don't get recognised. And I just think it's football's about community and spirit. And
Well, I'm next, and I have given this a lot of thought. I actually watched a team yesterday, and I know they played North Melbourne, but I watched a team yesterday that many thought would finish bottom 2, bottom 3, and that is Hawthorn. And I'm hitching my caravan to Hawthorn, being maybe finals next year type scenario.
Don't go half-cocked.
Okay.
because you haven't prepared it.
You're hitching a caravan
really
to somebody's beaten North Melbourne.
They can play.
Shock horror. They beat the Kangaroos.
They might play finals next year. Boy, oh boy. Whoa.
I'm going to limb.
Right, no, come on, Jason.
I'm suddenly feeling better about the MCC guy.
You're a disgrace. All right, I'll clean up.
Before you start, just hang on a sec.
Come on, you cut me down.
Yours is shocking.
Caravans, come on.
I'm banning you from this segment.
Okay.
Just got a text message from someone very senior who says he's going to be able to sort out Man Ross line out with a sort of a bit of a park, so that he's hitch your caravan. This is what happens. You hitch your caravan.
I'm being told by Ewan that he actually got a car pass, so I don't know what Ross is doing with his digital technology.
No, that's not true. I didn't get one. I'm happy to take the other one.
You're under the pump, so you're on notice as well, Brownie. Because, we were starting to give out these awards about the best hitcher caravans, your worst hitcher caravans. Last year I said the Koenig's Early Round 2 is lauded. And then last week from you, we got this.
Yeah.
It wasn't much, was it?
Have you got it there?
Very quiet.
We haven't got the audio. It's in the text message. Did you get it?
I win it.
Hello.
Oh,
The wheels are falling
We need a team huddle.
Hang on. I thought mine was weak.
The wheels are falling off this caravan.
I am.
You know what? We breathed out the glow of success. We got the #1 ratings, and it's exactly what's happened to AFL teams.
Okay,
And then-
I am
well, can I- here's
hitching
my
my
text message.
caravan, right?
Oh, we got
Don't
it.
worry about it.
Hang on.
Don't worry
No,
about
we're
it.
going with it. Here it is now from last week.
Well, I'm hitching my caravan to the Gold Coast Suns today. I can't see how anyone thinks Essendon can win this game today.
Have you just made that up?
Won 3 of their last 4. And I think it's been a false economy for the Bombers.
It's been a clinical performance. They will win 4 of their last 5.
That's disappointing.
As the Bombers fans rejoice.
Speaking of that, where are my bottle of Reds? I had two
yeah.
bottles of red wine with
DoorDash.
you,
Yeah.
Nath Brown, and
The
Ross
Henschke.
Wine.
Deliveroo's coming tonight with my
Yeah.
food.
Yeah.
Mount Mary.
We do owe you.
Hang on.
a-
Bottle of red wine.
So I get cut down for saying Hawthorn are looking really good, and he comes up with that rhubarb.
But I've got a good
week.
one today. I have a good one today. I am hitching my caravan or wagon to Mark Williams having a role at North Melbourne next year. So this is either a coaching position in what he does right now, so the same role that he does at Melbourne, or don't count out the senior coaching position.
Ooh.
But
Oh,
I'm told that
Brownie.
he's being
Brownie,
in
that
the background
you're-
at the Melbourne.
You are throwing a Hail Mary.
Background at Melbourne at the moment. The money's not overly good, and I think it'd be more attractive
He is
at
just
North
making this
Melbourne.
up.
So Mark Williams
Yes.
around North Melbourne next year.
Okay, so
I
if
like
this is
this.
proven to be wrong, right? If this
Yeah.
is proven to be wrong, how can we hold you accountable?
We're sort of glass half full commentary box.
Well,
Because it's just rhubarb again.
We
You've
don't
just
really
said-
want to go down the accountable piece, do we?
Actually, good point. Actually,
Don't
good point.
make it a rock for your back.
Hey, good point.
Yeah, we might do our laces up on any area.
No, that was a good one, Brandy. I like that.
Thank you.
A bit underappreciated. advice
I
this
did
time.
do some preparation, and I thought we've got to come and make a strong statement, something you can make a headline about, something that we can
Oh,
really.
well, Brownie's tried to do that, but no one will pick up on that.
And you know this because I sent it to you.
Yes.
But unfortunately, we touched on it. in
very
your
senior
big
people
three.
at North Melbourne are keen on Mark Williams.
To be the senior coach.
To have a role. So that could be the role he currently has as part
Development.
of development of a young list. And I think he does a very good job at Richmond, does a very good job at Melbourne.
I'm not saying he
I
doesn't
think-
do a good
I
job.
think he can do that role at North Melbourne.
I'm sure he can.
I like it, Brandy. Go.
Well, I'm going to go. We spoke about it earlier, but I want to hitch my caravan. I'm going to go out on a limb here. I think Melbourne will miss the top 4.
Oh.
I think when you look at their form, we spoke about it earlier, they've won 3 of their last 8 games. They're 2-5 against top 8 teams. And as you mentioned earlier, they've run home Fremantle away, Brisbane, Collingwood and Carlton.
Yes.
Are their last 4 games. All teams in the top 8. Fremantle and Brisbane hanging around. Carlton, Sydney are coming. I think the Melbourne can finish 5th. I think that Melbourne might slip out of the top 4 and finish 5th, which will be unheard of from when their 10 and zip
Could
started.
they win the flag from 5th?
They can still win the flag.
Yep.
Absolutely. But I just feel that maybe they don't finish top 4.
But if they can't beat any of those teams on the way
Well,
home,
they're probably
they're
not
not
gonna
Well,
going
I'll
to win.
disagree. I think they will finish top 4 for what it's worth.
Yeah, but you're goodies, mate, Duck. So he would think they're going to finish top 4.
Oh, well, sorry. Well, so because you're Pendles, mate, they're going to win the flag.
Just trying to even the ledger, mate. Just trying to square it up. Hey, I tell you what, after watching Jack Gunston, this is my hitchy caravan, so watching Jack Gunston kick 5 goals for and absolutely torch North Melbourne, I think this is the trade period that a rival club such as Essendon poaches Jack Gunston. So we know that Hawthorn is open to their options with what to do with their senior players. Jackie Gunston, revered, respected premiership star, former Adelaide High draft pick, but an absolute champion for the Hawthorn Football Club. But at 30 years of age, I just wonder whether a club like Essendon, like we're watching today, Joey, and I know you're very good in this space, could just do with that experience, that leadership, that mobility, the marking power, because he was outstanding yesterday. You called it for Fox Footy. Best man on the ground with 5 goals for only a couple of weeks after losing his dad. It was a very emotional scene as he kicked his first goal and then kissed his wristband and pointed to the sky. The Hawthorn senior coach, Sam Mitchell, absolutely full of praise for his veteran forward.
Yeah, I was really proud of Jack. It was a game where I was just happy for him to run out there and be amongst it, and didn't really care what we got. But he was our most potent forward and, just looked dangerous everywhere he went. And, I imagine, I've had a brief chat with him since the game, but inside his own head would have been a ginormous battle. And he was able to win that and then win the battle on the outside as well with an opponent. But, I think the biggest challenge for him would have been what was going on inside his own head. And I was really proud that he was able to, to do what he did today.
Out of contract, 30 years of age. I just wonder if the club's tempted to offer him 3 years and see if they can lure him out of Hawthorn.
Almost like an Isaac Smith to Geelong sort of a move, which has worked for the Cats. So just keep that on your radar.
Can Hawthorn afford to? You wouldn't want to be losing Jack Gunston.
Well, that's what they're regenerating, aren't they?
You think Gold Coast, another danger?
Still, you can't throw out all your experience.
Fremantle?
They got a few there. Bruce Shields, Wingard.
Well, Shields has been in and out of the VFL. Gunston's a regular player when he's fit.
Mm-hmm.
So that's very.
So you'd be if you're Hawthorn, you'd be.
I would be keeping Jack Gunston. I'd offer Jack Gunston if he wanted. I'd be at least offering him a 2-year deal.
Yep.
But we know last year Mitchell was on the hunt for draft picks, and they will be again. So I think they would see him as a commodity to bring in a pick.
It's a good one, isn't it, Ross?
It's
a good one.
Good hit your caravan, Jay-Z.
Thanks.
Oh, was that your caravan or news?
Oh, I'm very versatile. Brownie.
Good work. Well done, Jose. Really good segment. That's the best I think we've done there.
Was it better, do you think?
Hey?
Yeah, we improved?
Yeah, it was. Choice Hotels around the grounds. Need a break, book, direct and save with choicehotels.com.
Oh, Carlton up by 11 points. Charlie Kerno taking a brilliant strong mark in the half-forward flank. The Blues up by 11 points, 7-8-50, leading GWS Giants 6-3-39 halfway through the third quarter.
This is the Triple M footy preview for TaylorMade Golf, the all-new stealth driver from TaylorMade with 60-layer carbon face that delivers unparalleled distance and forgiveness. Up after the break, we're going to get into full footy mode. It's only about 24 minutes from the bounce for McDonald's Room Hot Water. Triple M rocks footy.
The Triple M footy preview for the all-new stealth driver from TaylorMade with a 60-layer carbon face that delivers unparalleled distance and forgiveness.
From Ream Hot Water and McDonald's.
Triple M rocks footy.
Your new home of Triple M footy is on the Listener app. And now it can get you to the biggest game of the year.
There it is. Melbourne break the drought.
Download the Listener app and search Triple M footy to get in the running to score a weekend at the 2022 Toyota AFL Grand Final.
Yes, please.
Every game of Triple M footy lives on the Listener app. That's LISTNR. AFL authorised GF promotion, GF AFL 20/22.
Ned's Multi-Rescue is new to the Punters Toolbox. Place a 4+ leg sports multi, activate Multi-Rescue, and if one leg fails, get up to $50 bonus back. Take sports to the Ned's level.
T's and C's apply. Visit the website for details. Gamble responsibly.
Flat battery.
Oh no. What'll we do?
Well, I'm going to get a new one.
Doesn't look like it. You're just staring at your watch.
Actually, it's a very smart watch.
Hello, RACV.
There you are. You're good to go.
RACV batteries. We come to anyone, anytime in Greater Melbourne and Geelong. Backed by our price match guarantee. It starts by calling RACV on 131111.
For your chance to win up to 15 grand towards your landscaping, visit colorbond.com/winbig. You'll also find leading builders like Porter Davis Homes offering a Colorbond steel roof as a no-cost upgrade on their lifestyle range. Enter now at colorbond.com/winbig. Colorbond Steel, made for Australia. Loved in Victoria, trusted by Porter Davis Homes. Conditions apply. See website. Vic Residents 18+. Ends 31/08/22.
Hi, Gordon Tallis here. Apricity Finance powers business growth. Remove the stress of waiting for big customers to pay their bills. Our facility is available to businesses providing goods or services to high credit customers, giving you the flexibility to choose to have your invoices paid faster. In fact, Apricity finances up to 95% of approved invoices up front, resulting in better cash flow. Call 1300 277 424 or visit apricityfinance.com now. Terms and conditions apply.
Go big at Vodafone and get 40 gigabytes of data for just $40 a month. That's plenty of data to stream, share, and do more of what you love. And don't forget, you can pair this amazing plan with one of our great value 5G phones. Why wait? Get into store, go online, or call 13 22 99 and connect to Vodafone today.
Offer available until withdrawn on our light plan 5G in selected areas of major cities. T&Cs apply.
Tradies,
Beacon Trade's got your back with 120 stores open 7:30 weekdays and well stocked with fans, lights and electrical accessories at trade-only prices. Beacon Trade, let's make light work.
Good blokes don't abuse local umpires. Great blokes call it out. Triple M stands against umpire abuse.
Hey, it's Matt Layton with you. A tragic house fire in Sydney's southwest has claimed a third life, a 10-year-old boy. 6 residents were evacuated from the home in Hinchinbrook after 5:30 this morning. Police have established a crime scene. Australia's number 1 ranked 100-metre hurdler is in doubt for the Commonwealth Games. Liz Clay crashed into the 7th hurdle during her heat at the World Championships in the United States. She'll have an X-ray on her left foot. Queensland's Deputy Premier says criticism on hotel quarantine spending is like throwing rocks from the cheap seats. It's been revealed the Sunshine State spent $40 million on hotel quarantine in the 6 months since the purpose-built facility opened. Stephen Mull says most of that money was used to terminate contracts and pay outstanding invoices. The Albanese government promises more respectful debate when the 47th Parliament starts this week. Manager of Government Business Tony Burke labelled the previous makeup of the House of Representatives a farce, but he's told the ABC he's making sure ministers are held responsible for their actions.
It wasn't their say when Malcolm Turnbull was Prime Minister, even Tony Abbott before that. But we got to the point where 15 seconds into a question, ministers had had enough talking about their own policy and was just sledging for the rest of the question.
And we are being urged to register as an organ donor this Donate Life Week. Anyone over 16 can apply online.
Go all in on a Volkswagen Model Year 22 T-Cross 85 TSI Life from $32,990 drive away. Conditions and exclusions apply. Visit volkswagen.com.au.
A bit cloudy for the rest of your Sunday in Melbourne, down to 10 tonight. Showers developing tomorrow and 16 degrees. They'll continue on Tuesday and Wednesday. Don't forget our listener app is the new home of Triple M. Join up to listen live or on demand right now.
What saves you time and money with less trips to the hardware store? Diablo's new Impact Strong screwdriver bits. These bad boys absorb torque for less stress on the bit. Tough and durable with up to 50 times longer life and a precise grip with no loss of the centering tip. With a full range of screwdriver bits, Diablo has your back, no matter the job. Rolling into stores at Bunnings Warehouse, see the full range at diablotools.com.au. Diablo Tools. Lead, never follow.
Shut up!
Triple M rocks footy.
This quarter for Foxtel. 4K Ultra HD. The best way to watch AFL. Only available on Foxtel.
McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. Triple M rocks footy. We are just over 17 minutes away from the first bounce here at the MCG between the arch rivals Collingwood and the Bombers. The Pies sitting in 7th. Essendon in some good form. They are sitting on 14th. Of course, we've got Ross Lyon, Wayne Carey, Jay-Z's just left the building. Nath Brown's having a break. And joining us in the seat for the moment is Mickey Roberts for Bob Jane T-Marts. Bob Jane T-Marts, buy 3, get 1 free on instant cashback on Bridgestone, Goodyear, Yokohama, Michelin, Dunlop, and many more. bobjane.com.au. We wanted to get you in, Robbo, because we heard the sad news yesterday, the passing of Collingwood legend Billy Picken, the 2-time Copeland Trophy winner, All-Australian, Team of the Century, 3rd in the 1977 Brownlow medal, of course, 4 losing grand finals, an absolute superstar of the game, superstar of the Collingwood Football Club. Unfortunately, passing away yesterday. The Pies will wear the black armbands, of course, for him. But just wanted to chat to you. You played in his era, played a lot against him. And, of course, you had the days, the Tommy Hafey days with Billy Picken. You used to spend your Sunday mornings together and knock around with...
Well, the reason for that was that Trevor Barker used to go out with Karen Hafey. So we used to play on the Saturday in those days, and then obviously we'd go around and see Karen, and all the Collingwood boys would be in Beau Morris at Tommy's place, and they used to bet on anything and everything, flies going up the wall, whatever. And Tommy was a teetotaler, and the boys used to drink the can, so Tommy used to get pretty frustrated with that. But, you know, Ronnie Weirmouth, Peter Moore, Kink, the Shaw brothers, all those blokes would be very sad today because they've lost an icon. You said 4 grand finals. He played in the draw too, 1977. Yes. Yep. He was an A-grade cricketer and a bloody good bloke and a good player. He loved the big crowd. He loved the MCG. And those Collingwood days, they were real black and white. So Billy was a crowd favourite, that's for sure. and loved it. Loved it.
You said last night he used to commentate his own play when he'd come out of centre half back. He'd take a mark. And
he'd get so nervous, he'd spew on you. He'd actually vomit and get so worked up that you'd have orange all over you or whatever, standing in a pack. So he used to wind himself up and he used to commentate, say, "Here comes Billy," or "Look out, Billy Picken's on the way." So he was quite comical out in the ground.
Played in how many grannies?
Right? Yeah, 4 grand finals, but the draw, so 5. Yeah.
Ross, what are your memories of Billy Picken?
What I remember, because I was a Carlton fan, it was the Carlton-Collingwood strong rivalry. But he used to take those, specky, the mark.
Big
after
mark.
he marked it, then he'd hold it up.
Yeah.
He'd grab it. He'd grab it at his highest point, and then he'd have it and shoulder above his head. But he wasn't the best kick in the world.
No, he wasn't.
He used to punt it forward. It used to come back a little bit more than it should.
Darryl White used to hold the ball up.
Like that.
Yeah.
But he took one of the great marks, didn't he? I think he took mark of the year in like his 4th or 5th game.
I reckon he got mark of the year twice, Billy Picken.
I remember
and a long sleever?
Yes, a little bit on a wet day. Yeah.
I remember Billy Picken stories. He was my dad's favourite player. Dad was a Collingwood supporter, and I was a Collingwood supporter growing up. And Dad used to say Billy Picken was his favourite player, and he was very excited because in one of the prelims when we played against the Western Bulldogs, of course, his son Liam Picken, we played a lot against. Dad sat next to him in one of the prelims in sort of the parents section, so it was very exciting. Condolences are with the Picken family and everyone in the Collingwood Football Club and in the bigger AFL fraternity.
I'm glad you mentioned family because Liam unfortunately had to leave the game because of concussion, but he put together a magnificent final series and got him over the line in 2016.
I was sitting here watching the grand final. His forward pressure was
amazing,
ferocious and turned the ball over and went. So not many people put that link together.
That's right.
But I found that interesting because there might have been Tony Shaw spoken in an article about Billy stood up in finals and big games, and guess what? So did his son. So that temperament and that character to stand up in the fiercest heat, threat ran through the family.
Gave him 2 votes in the Norm Smith that day. I think.
Did you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they had big egos, Collingwood. All I can say is that he was one of the biggest. They came to the footy to watch Billy Picken and be sadly missed.
Well, Robbo, appreciate your time. We'll let you get down to the boundary line because there's going to be a big atmosphere building. There's going to be plenty happening down on the boundary line for Bob Jane T-Marts. Of course, Ream Hot Water as well. Built tough Aussie conditions when it comes to water heating. Ask your plumber to install the Ream. Essendon are about to run through the banner. Pies are not far away. And walking into the seat in the middle here is Ash Chew as we welcome Chew, Red Z Lending. Exciting game, this one. Big build-up. Yeah. Plenty of good form from both these sides.
Yeah, no doubt, Joe. I'll touch on the Bombers. You look at the past 5 rounds. They've won 4 out of their past 5, but number 1 for contested ball differential at plus 14, 3rd for ground ball, 4th for clearances. But you look at their ball movement. They're ranked 1st in the comp for D50 chains to inside 50 in an unbroken chain. They're tracking at 34% in regards to their ball movement. That's 13 above the league average. And they're also number 1 for scores generated from their defensive 50 at 27 points per game, which is double the league average. Just for the Magpies, Braden Maynard, past 6 rounds, he's the number 1 rated player at the Maggies, averaging 20, along with 5 tackles, as well as leading the club for intercept possessions and pressure acts inside D50. And finally, Joey, Dylan Shield. His first 10 games of the season, only averaging 20 touches, almost a career low, but past 6 games, he's the number 1 rated player at the Bombers, averaging 25, along with 8 clearances, and leads the AFL in centre clearances overall.
And full credit to him because he was under the pump. He was copping it in the media. He was being heavily scrutinised about the way he was playing. But you're right, his form in the last 6 to 10 weeks has been excellent, and it's been part of the revival of the Bombers. There are some people saying that they're fake wins because they're coming late in the season when there's nothing to play for. I tend to look at it differently and say they could have easily thrown in the towel, all too hard. It's not our year, but they've actually dug in. They're working on their game. They're playing much better footy.
In saying that, Joey, the criticism was warranted for Dylan Shield, though, the way he was playing.
Yeah, they were.
I don't think it was his fault. He's a great preparer, focused on his footy. I think the coaching staff need to get it right over the summer and getting him ready from round 1 because the adjustments were made. They got McGrath coming off half-back flank, which is his natural spot and where he got drafted from. They got Caldwell now going to a midfield. They got Guelphy putting on forward pressure. They got the 2 ruckmen that allows Draper to go forward and give support to 2-metre Peter. So and they got Redmond, McGrath,
Ridley.
And Ridley.
Hind.
Hind was out of the team. He was 4th in their best and fairest and running and bouncing.
Who knows
now they've
why?
got 3. So I think the people handling them, well, it is a criticism, I suppose, but it's an observation. They haven't got... I learned David Parkin, he was a great coach, premiership coach, and when he came to Fitzroy, and I was only a kid, I was going in 86, you got to win the first one. the way he prepared, you got to win the first game of the year and you got to get the momentum. And so you got to almost come in over ready to strike. I feel like if you haven't hit the line up and going 2 years in a row, you need to change something. So that's what they should be reviewing and keep the changes that they've made.
Yeah, we've spoken about this. No doubt they got it wrong at the start of the season. They probably got it wrong over the pre-season, but they are playing much better. And Duck, it's interesting, Ross spoke about how they just look better. Even just some handy inclusions. Guys like Snelling, who's a really important role player. Cole Langford, who's an important role player. They're back in the side fit. Stringer has now got some games in him and looks fitter. All of a sudden, it just makes the whole dynamic of the team look much better.
Oh, there's no doubt about that. And as Two-Man, and the stats back that up. Their ball movement, all of a sudden, and you're right, Ross, you've got people in the right positions. They're confident in one another. They're being more proactive rather than reactive. And I mean, they look, and the problem that I have, and I agree with you, Joey, but I also subscribe to the fact, and what Ross said, I back up, that it's 2 years in a row now that they've got off to really poor starts and then come home with a wet sail. Last year they actually got there. This year they're not going to get there, but that is a concern. So they have to address that and make sure they're ready to go at the start of a year.
Well, they were going sideways when the game does allow you now to go forward. And it's interesting, like, Chris got really smart in his group. They put Duncan to halfback, that run and distribution. All of a sudden, Treloar's gone to halfback. If you look at the best teams, they bounce off the half-back line with Fremantle. That Clark's given them the run, and Young. So I think they had it there, but they didn't put him in position, and they didn't make it an emphasis.
And Harrison Jones being back into the side has made the world of difference to Peter Wright. Peter Wright started the year well, then he had a real lull. There was about 4 or 5 weeks where he didn't go near it. Jones comes back in. He's only kicked the 10 goals from his 7 games, but I just think structurally, so much 100%. Better for the Bombers.
And he's an aerial and ground level player who's hard as a cat's head. Like, he is tough, So I think that complements with Draper or Phillips down there. There's the triple threat as opposed to the beacon. We're going to Peter and everyone just rolls off and floods to him. It's too hard.
Contested footy, they ranked 15th for the first 14 rounds. The last 4 games, Ash, they're number 1.
Number 1 at plus 14, Brownie.
Well, what does that tell you? That tells you they're back to instinctive and hunt the ball. If you're looking at position and we can't join in, I'd rather have it more bees to the honeypot than just sitting out there second-guessing yourself.
There's no doubt, though, at the start of the year for mine, and we're not privy to exactly how hard or how fit and how much players have missed their pre-season, but they did not look, and I'm even talking about their stars in merit and these guys, Joey, like they were criticised for those second and third efforts, and you just thought, the game just looks quicker than what they are, and all of a sudden now, it doesn't.
They look quicker than the opposition.
Correct.
Yeah.
A bit of talk. They overthought it over the pre-season. They were too worried about structures and things like that and lost their instinctiveness in just playing, hunting the footy. But they're back. What about on the flip side, Collingwood? We know about this incredible run they are on, winning all these close games. What do you make of it, Ross? Is it luck? It's not luck at all?
No, it's not luck, and they're making it happen. But you can't keep coming from behind and winning by a kick. I think they've won 6 or 7. And they're doing it, and Adelaide are a mediocre team. They're lucky to get over Adelaide. I know it's tough conditions to go in their state. So I think the numbers over the last month tell you Essendon statistically are better, attack and defence and contest. And Collingwood are just flirting a bit too much with slow starts, and I think they're a little bit vulnerable today. But, they're also got obviously an opportunity to have a look at their slow starts and coming from behind and remedying that. But I think they've got some concerns.
Hard one to get a line through for me because of those close wins against the opposition. I think they're getting the best out of some of their senior players that have been stars in the past and now playing more of a role. And then you've got first year players doing what Dacos has done, and even Hoskin Elliott. I mean, he hasn't played anywhere near what he did in 2018. All of a sudden you're getting a contribution from him again. So there's a lot of little pieces to the puzzle coming together. But I'm just not sold on
you can't
like
be,
others.
Right? 7 out of Ash Chew's been kind of 7 out of their 12 wins are by less than 11 points. Now we admire that. But that's not franking where you're heading.
It's hard work too, to try and get over the line all like that. So if I'm Ben Rutten today and I'm looking at Dacos and he's had a wonderful 7 weeks and he's only 18 years of age, but if you allow him to do what he did last week, he'll have 40 possessions and he'll kick 3 goals. So I'm going to Guelphy and I'm saying
just get into him even.
You can't. I don't even want you to kick goals today. If that happens, that's great, but I want you to take him out of the game because he had so much run and carry, and he's invested for a young player. Like an 18-year-old, he's invested.
And he's ready. A bit of last thing he wants.
Yeah, you've got
Bailey
to take him out of the
They've
game.
got Bailey Dale. They've got Clark. Different teams are doing it.
Sinclair, yep.
But I think you've got to be set for him in different areas. When he's half back, Wilfie, you've got him.
Yep.
He gets midfield, Caldwell, you've got him. And then if he goes forward like he did, you can't have. I think you showed the clip or Cornsey, where the Adelaide defender walked forward 15 metres and let him out the back. You've got to have someone set for him there, because all of a sudden it distracts him. It distracts him and his team from just playing their system. You've got to disrupt the system.
I think it's astounding that there's been no time put into him at all.
Yep.
I think it's astounding that you can allow a player to just run around and do what he wants.
I used to love it as a coach. We had we had Bernie Vince, who's rocking 40 in a row, about 3 or 4 times in a row, and we just said, okay, CJ, you got Bernie Vince today. And he never knew what hit him, the poor bugger, because... And they don't know how to make 1v2s and roll around and disrupt. It becomes a tough day. You hit the ones that don't expect it.
And him playing so well, it might sound funny, but his brother Josh Dacos, I believe, is a better player since his brother started playing in the same team. So he's been pretty good. Let's head out on the boundary. Bob Jane T-Marts, look after you. Buy 3, get 1 free, plus instant cash back on top tyre brands. 13 26 25. That's your number you call, or order online today, bobjane.com.au.
Vibe down here, Brownie, and we're just watching highlights of Billy Pickens up on the screen. Fantastic, as we've just teased before. But 2 settle sides today, that's for sure. Roscoe, nice little northerly, about 18 degrees, cracking day, sun out, so no excuses. Quaynor comes into the side. Taylor Adams is in. Essendon unchanged, so all they want to do is keep winning and just mess with the minds of the top sides, that's for sure. So the Pies, as we know, they're 8 straight, but they're wearing the black armbands, not only for Billy Picken, but for Con Britt, who played in the 1970 grand final, half-forward flanker, a Ballarat boy against Carlton. So a double whammy there for the Pies. Expected at about 70,000. The past non-Anzac Day games averaging about 64,000. So they'll come in. So it is a good vibe down here. The subs are Carmichael and Ham for Essendon. I'm going for the Magpies. I reckon they can knock the Dons off today at the G.
Nice work, Robbo. He's stiff, young Carmichael. Had 24 kicks and 0 handballs last week. Played a great game. Finds himself to be the medi sub. We spoke to Braden Maynard before the game, and he spoke about the fact that he probably will start on Jake Stringer, which is an interesting battle, and I'm looking forward to it because I reckon there'll be fireworks.
Well, I think Jake Stringer will start in the centre bounce, and then I think Maynard will just be waiting for him as soon as that centre bounce goes. Stringer will drift forward, and Maynard will pick him up, and that's an important matchup. We know he's a fire starter. Jake Stringer, we know that he can get the side going and he hits the scoreboard. So he is one that the Magpie defenders have to be wary of.
Jack Ginnivan was the Anzac Day medalist last time these two sides played, and he sort of took the mickey a little bit on a couple of occasions. He shushed the crowd, Ross. So there's another one that if I'm a coach and I'm Ben Rutten today, I'm saying I don't want Jack Ginnivan getting up and about. I don't want him inspiring his teammates or getting the crowd involved, because Collingwood are such a big crowd. When they get involved, it seems to lift them as well. I want him taking out the game.
He's a fire starter as well, and it's interesting. He's trimmed the locks. He looks a bit sharper, and he's bigger. We discussed it pre-game. They got him listed at 185, which makes him almost 6'1", so he's got more size. But I worry about him today with the tightening of the rule changes. I saw players that were slightly dropping, and they're getting head-high contact and strong head-high contact and no free. So he'll have to learn quick, but it also becomes a safety issue for him. If he goes to ground, players know they've got a free swing at him, so let's hope he adjusts quickly.
Just having a look at Triple M Harvey Norman replay. Great deals on cooking appliances now. Harvey Norman, shop the world's best cooking brands in store or online. Eddie Maguire, just out the front of his Jam TV media box that he has, or corporate suite, just hanging the Billy Picken number 25 out the window, which is a nice touch.
Oh, it's an incredible touch, and whatever people might say, his contribution to Collingwood, Eddie himself, but he loves Collingwood. He loves the history of the players and the club.
True, man. Choice hotels around the ground. Carlton, Giants, Marvel Stadium.
Yeah, early into the final quarter, it's the Blues by 17 points over the Giants.
Paddy Cripps back in form today, Ash. How many's he had?
Yeah, 26 touches. Brownie's second most for the Blues.
Very nice, very nice. Not far away from this one getting underway. McDonald's warm up with a creme brulee apple pie for just $1.50 at Macca's. That's a creme brulee pie or an apple pie. There's both on choice there. Duck, would you take the creme brulee or would you take the apple?
Probably the apple pie. But
I'm a creme brulee.
Just back to the Ginnivan thing. I honestly believe with the rule being spoken about during the week and this interpretation now, I actually think now the tackler can hit players with more venom and know that they're not going to give.
No, that's the worry.
Give a
That's
free
the
kick
concern.
away. I think it is, and I like the fact that if I was Jack, I would have shaved the whole head off, and I would have made sure so then they don't know it's Jack when he's got his head over it, and he might get a couple because I think he's been harshly dealt with.
He should have dyed it black.
They're not going to know it's him. His head's still the same.
Well, he doesn't stand out like a beacon, Brownie.
He's
You know what I'm talking
starting on
about.
the bench. We'll get back down to Robbo for you, Bob Jane T-Mart.
Yeah, Scottle Penbury and obviously Heppel went in for the toss. Collingwood won the toss. They're going to the city end, and let's see if Scotty Draper can grab it out of the middle and get goal of the day again. That was sensational last week.
Just like when you had your pony, Brownie, I would have pulled it.
Bob Jane T-Marts, they look after you. Buy 3, get 1 free, plus instant cash back on top tyre brands. Call 13 26 25 or order online today, bobjane.com.au. Robbo will be all over everything on the boundary line as the players start to get in position. Big Mason Cox is going to do the first bounce for the Pies.
How many do you reckon, Ash?
Yeah, I reckon probably 65,000, Brownie.
Who's going to win it, Rossi?
Essendon for mine.
Essendon for me.
Chew.
Bombers.
Oh, boy. I think the Pies will just win another close one. I reckon they'll get it done again. Looking forward to this one. Crowd getting ready. Here's Nathan Brown to call all the action.
Stringer starting in the middle. Merritt at half forward. Maynard's got him some push and shove with Adams and Shield. Bounce in the middle's perfect. Draper up against Cox. Draper wins it easily, but I think he put his hand over the top of the shoulder. Free kick out of the middle. Adams, handball. Elliott overran it, coming through, and cleaning him up was Draper. Some tough stuff early. Caldwell picks it up, slips one sideways. Heppel picks it up, right foot smothered off the boot by side bottom, did really well. Langford will run onto it on centre wing, picks it up, got some time, got some space. Right foot forward, smothered off the boot as well. 2 smothers early, coming in and laying a big tackle on Murphy. He'll have a ball up on the outer side.
He's well done to Draper, who just followed that footy up, but followed Elliott. Didn't give away the free kick, but protected the space for the Bombers to win the footy.
Ball up half forward for the Bombers. Draper tries to get a clearance, does a pretty good job, gets it to centre half forward. Josh Dacos is there for Collingwood. Always so smooth when he gets the footy, and that's a nice kick to the outlet. Hoskin Elliott. Centre wing, Shane Warne stand side. Big crowd, lights on. Beautiful winter's day for footy. Kicking board to Crisp. Still on the wing. Bombers have got numbers back, so bit of slow play action to start this one. Crisp wants it long and straight towards Darcy Cameron, who started forward. Cox drift down there. Redmond, who's been in super form, gets it out to McGrath. Under pressure did well. Got it to Durham. And here go the Bombers on the counter-attack. A chain of handballs. Merritt to Snelling, who wanted to give another one, wasn't sure. So went back to Merritt. Now to Durham, and now Shield, who has a player pushing forward. It's Guelphy. It's a good kick. Finds him 52 out. Langford's gone to the goal square. Kick goes to the pocket, just a bit too far for Guelphy. Had Langford went too wide out of bounds on the full.
I was going to say they almost sold themselves into trouble, but they had the skill to get themselves out, and then to finish with a kick like that was really poor.
And numbers stuck.
Yeah.
And numbers they had in support.
Langford could have made it a little bit easier and let up at the ball carrier. The ball now is on centre wing, and Elliott takes the mark on his chest, looks forward.
It's the bloke with the ball in his hands that makes a decision what he does with it.
But I like their intent. Both times, even though they stuffed it up, they've gone forward quickly.
Elliott long to half forward. Cox is there. Back of the pack. The ball spilled out. Pendlebury with an opportunity. Tried to use his body. Did well. Went to ground. Got the ball, but then gave it up. The Bombers got it at half back. Big tackle aid holding the ball. Advantage paid. It was going to be over the shoulder in the end. Not holding the ball at all. And the Bombers will get the ball at half back, or is it the Pies? The umpire has pointed one way, then the other.
Well, it's the out of zone umpire at the other end from centre half backs called that. The other 2 umpires were blindsided.
So Taylor Adams is the man who ends up with it. He's got Dacos just to his left. And that is way too easy. Dacos from 40 out. Kicks it almost out of bounds on the full through for a behind. Probably didn't need to play on then. First score of the day. Collingwood one behind, Essendon yet to score.
Here we are saying put a bit of time into him, and he runs inside 50 all by himself.
And it was interesting. Caldwell was putting a lot of time in Pendlebury and wouldn't leave him to ban him.
Gee, boy, oh boy.
Hind from the kick in. Wide to Laverde. Guelphy. So they've got the outside defensive 50. Collingwood have got the team defence set up. Caldwell does look like he's trying to run with Pendlebury. So Guelphy goes along down the line. Cox gets in the way. Peter Wright flies. Ground level. Snelling's in there. So's Crisp. Flicks a handball. Missed the mark. Murphy mops it up. throws it on the boot quickly, goes from half back to half forward. Adams with the crumb, has Pendlebury in board. Mycheck's lurking as well, he can give it to Pendlebury now, gets to 50. Will Pendlebury go for home? Instead he pokes it over the top, but they'll let it bounce, and it'll be a goal to Pendlebury. First is on the board. He tried to get it to young Ash Johnson, but he shepherded it through. And Collingwood on the Triple M Foxtel scoreboard there, one straight, 117. The Bombers yet to score 4K Ultra HD, the best way to watch the AFL, only available on Foxtel.
Well, they're little things, but I like Cox's attack on the footy on this wing. Ben, and also Ben over the footy, just got a little important touch, but really good use of the footy, wasn't it? And I just got a text, oh, look at this, my phone's lights. Jay-Z said, my boys just kicked the first goal. I just love the fact that Cox competed down here, and they win the ball back. Adams was strong.
And it was that long down the line kick. It's a big play. If you win it, you get through. If you turn it over, the opposition win it, they're coming back through the corridor quickly on you. Great crumb by Adams.
McDonald's Rim Hot Water, Triple M Rocks footy. Pies get the first one. Big crowd in, 65 to 70,000. Ball in the middle of the ground. Stringer tried to pick it up. Dylan Shield, the number one clearance player in the comp at centre bounces. Ash told us that before the game for Red Z Lending. He's got the ball left foot inside forward 50. Not a good kick. That's where he lets himself down. Kicks it straight back to Darcy Moore.
Everyone says that's where he lets himself down.
He does.
And I don't see it as often.
Well, you just saw it there.
He can in a game, but there's other games where he executes well.
Interesting, Colwell continuing to go to Pendlebury after the bounce.
So Darcy Moore inside his own defensive 50 will kick it towards centre wing. Mason Cox being held on to, get a free kick.
He started well, Mason.
Against Draper. Got a couple of short options. Dacos and Noble wanted the ball and they didn't really talk their way through it, so he eventually went long. Front and centre was Merritt. Just pumps it into the middle of the ground. Bounce will be important. Murphy gets underneath it. Got it out to Maynard. Maynard chips the ball wide. In the middle of the ground now, Howe steps out and then chips it out towards centre wing and side bottom.
Spreading well here, the Pies. He's got Crisp over the top if he wants him. He goes there now, side bottom. Crisp gets to 65. Kicks a low flat ball to the top of the square. Cameron at the back behind Laverde. He takes the mark. And he'll go back from only 10 metres out on a slight angle to kick their second.
You've called it though, Joey, on the spread. They're just finding the space out wide and transitioning the ball really quickly, one-on-one to their forwards.
He still keeps his width well, doesn't he? He sits out there. And that's the one thing as a defender, you don't want to get caught. You don't want to get caught in front like that.
It's a good entry from Chris though, wasn't it? Low and flat, yeah. Got there quick. So Darcy Cameron, who's normally a very good set shot for goal, will go around the body. He gets his first. Collingwood have got the first two. They're 2-1-13. Bombers yet to score.
Yeah, well, when you come in with that sort of ease and that speed, very, very difficult for defenders. But, your back shoulder, you get caught in front. It's just so easy to protect that space behind and fall back on the footy like Cameron did. And just watching the Harvey Norman, and that's exactly what he did and made it look very easy.
And we talk about contested ball. There's the one on the long one down the line. Collingwood won it and went back, and it was the Merritt quick kick forward. There's a big contest centre half back. Collingwood won it again. So those goals have come back off contested ball wins and transition.
Triple M Seabus Super special comments today. Two of the best in the business. Ross Lyon, Wayne Carey, Seabus Super making hard work pay off. Chew.
Scotty Pendlebury, so past 9 rounds playing 93% game time in the midfield opposed to the previous 9 at 61. His past 6 against the Bombers, he's racked up 30 per game.
And Choice Hotels around the grounds.
It's the Blues by 29 over the Giants, almost halfway into the final term.
Caldwell out of the middle. Slips one wide. Looking for Langford. Nobody really well. Worried him out of it, beat him off it, then got it to Murphy. Murphy chips the ball to side bottom at half back. The Pies look good early. It's a side bottom. Bathed in sunshine under the Shane Warne stand. Chips the ball. Really good kick too. He finds Josh Dacos. Marks on his chest. True centre wing. Now he runs and carries and gets it inside forward 50. Cox from the side. Can't mark it. Fist at the ground level. Laverde was there. Tackle to the ground. Ball still underneath that pack, and the umpire, he's going to ping someone. Definitely going to ping someone holding the ball against Laverde. And Collingwood get a free kick to Lipinski.
And you think of the difference in the game, but Essendon had 2 clear opportunities for entry, and Shields and Colwell both slaughtered them to their forward, and Collingwood just transitioned the ball out.
Geez, I'm not sure he dragged that in.
It was tough, Duck.
That's very, very tough. For Harvey Norman,
Zerk Thatcher got pushed into it, really, sat on.
So Lipinski became a really good player, consistent player at the Pies since crossing for the Dogs. 48 out, pushes it wide, through for one behind. 2-2-14 Collingwood, yet to score the Bombers. That's the Triple M Foxtel scoreboard, 4K Ultra HD, the best way to watch AFL, only available on Foxtel.
Yet to really settle into this game, the Bombers just need a little bit of ball. So Redmond will go to Merritt, back to Redmond. And another short kick to Heppel. So they've got it to the point of the square at half-back. Heppel now goes lateral towards the boundary line to McGrath.
Not sure why you'd go there.
Doesn't really help the offence, does it? Now McGrath's hemmed in, and he's going to have to go long down the boundary line. Although he tries to pull the kick slightly in ball, which is a good option. A lot of numbers at this contest, but again, Collingwood win it, although Noble's wrapped up by a couple of Bombers, although he was taken high. So he'll get the free kick. John Noble. He didn't drop the shoulder or didn't duck, so right call from the umpire. Short to Maynard. Centre half back. Pies lead this by 14 points. Maynard, good kick. Cox has started well. Gets Pendlebury involved. Dacos with a handball. He gets to 50. That's Josh Dacos. Has Ash Johnson on the lead. Beautiful ball movement again by the Pies. They look sharp. And young Ash Johnson, who looked impressive last week, will go and try and kick his first of the afternoon.
Well, what Collingwood did well there, and they held up play, their players cleared the 45 into the corridor for Maynard. They cleared that space well, and that just opened up the whole play. Some teams just don't clear that area well enough. Don't camp on the 45.
Kicked a couple last week on debut, Ash Johnson. Could have kicked 3 or 4. Had plenty of chances. He was involved. And he's got his first now. And Collingwood have started well in this one. They're 3-2-20. Bombers yet to score. And Chu, we've spoken a lot about Essendon's ball movement, but defence has still been an issue, and at the moment they're getting sliced.
Yeah, certainly have. You look at that, 6 entries for the Magpies. They've kicked 3 goals too, but you look at their kicking efficiency. They're allowing Collingwood to go 85% by foot, 18 above the league average. Essendon only at 50.
Bob Jane T-Marts.
Doing a nice little concussion test down here on Darcy Moore. He copped a whack in the mouth, so they cleaned up the blood. Brought himself off, actually, so just doing a couple of little things down here with the doctor, so we'll keep an eye on him, Darcy Moore.
It's a timing thing, but those little handballs, that in-the-pocket handball from Cox to Pendlebury.
Oh, the overlap.
Where you can where you get that past that man on the mark, and then it just opens up, and I reckon Dacos would be one of the favourites for the forwards. Their eyes would light up, I reckon.
Well, he's getting a bit of room, isn't he?
Josh, that is.
Pies have got the first 3. They lead by 20. Caldwell runs into a brick wall. Adams got him, but he was able to get it out to Shield. Shield handball forward. The Bombers, this is their first really good entry, but they're going to muck it up. One handball too many at half forward. Trying to go back in was Hobbs to clean it up. He did to Redmond. Redmond runs the arc, handballs it back to Phillips. Phillips, just a little toe poke to Shield. So still 70 metres from home, Dylan Shield. Asking players to come at him. He's got a player in the pocket. That's where he goes now. The kick is really good. And Guelphy, he was out-pointed in the end by Quainer, who never loses a one-on-one. Got it out of bounds with a boundary throw, and there's Darcy Moore on the Harvey Norman replay screen sitting on the bench.
A little bit of argy-bargy, Guelphy and Nick Dacos, as we predicted. Trying to get stuck into the young star. So opportunity here for Essendon. Throwing inside 50. There is Nick Dacos, just waiting for it at the back. Pies fans appreciate it. Give him a round of applause. His kick goes wide. Ginnivan beaten in a one-on-one. Redmond along the boundary line. Goes into the pocket. Too far, out of bounds on the full.
So, Essendon need to settle here. 20 points. It's quickly getting out of control at the moment. Maynard receives a short ball from the kick in.
I think they've had enough opportunities, Brandon. They just got to tidy up the execution on entry.
Dacos goes to the outer side. It's a good kick to Ginnivan. So at half back, Ginnivan getting the boos from the Bombers crowd. Kicks to the half forward, looking for Myercheck. Hind did well. Fisted out of bounds. And on the outer side of the MCG, Shane Warnstam will have a boundary throw in. Collingwood 3-2-20. The Bombers are yet to score. Triple M Foxtel scoreboard.
Phillips and Darcy Cameron will do battle. Ball falls short. And the umpire said we'll throw it in again.
Just Joey Triple M Red Z. The entries, Collingwood only at +1, but kicks retained inside 50. Maggie's at 80%. Essendon at 0.
Red Z lending loans to the self-employed. Darcy Moore looks like he's okay on the bench. A lot of conversation going on there between Cox Pendlebury and Darcy Moore. So the umpires had another go throwing it in, and then there's a free kick. It'll go against Darcy Cameron for high contact on Phillips. So Big Phillips at half-back. No one on the mark, so he can run about 5 or 10 metres. He doesn't really, and he goes towards Peter Wright, who has got the height advantage with Darcy Moore on the bench at the moment, with Howe. Tackle from Hobbs in the back. So he'll get the free kick. Ben Hobbs. Playing game number 14 today in his first season. I mean, super impressive. Could have been holding the ball, but got the benefit of the doubt. And again, they're going to go into the pocket towards Peter Wright, getting in front. Maynard, who got nailed by Peter Wright, stood his ground. Tough from Bruzzy, and he'll get the free kick.
And well done to Peter Wright.
Outside 5. That's it, mate. You earned it, though.
Yep. If they want to stand in the hole in front of you, you're allowed to attack the footy.
So most of the play out on the outer Shane Warne side towards centre wing. Ridley takes the mark for the Bombers.
Not 15, play
Not 15, play on. It was a short ball. Under pressure, the Bombers are over handballing again. Collingwood's pressure's the lead at the moment. They're going to win it back. Lipinski was tackled out the footy. Crisp got through. Now some space. Wants to handball. Does to side bottom. Side bottom got some space. One bounce. Crosses the 50. Got the player on. Adams over the top. Adams runs into an open goal and gives it off. And Johnson will kick another one. Good team play by the Pies. They've got 4-2-26. The Bombers are yet to score. Triple M Foxtel scoreboard.
Well, they're just another turnover. You called it, Joey, over handballing. They were out. They could have had an entry. I mean, there's only so far you can run it before you run into a brick wall. So they just got to balance up their desire to run and gun with distributing the ball by foot, because it's 9 turnovers to 5. I think Collingwood's scores nearly all come off turnover, have they, Chu?
Spot on, 100%.
Yep, 4 goals, 2 from turnover. It really is. It really is over handballing. And Collingwood's pressure, Chumen, I assume, over 200.
Triple M Red Z, 198, Doug.
Ooh.
Bombers only at 139.
Could have just marked it up a little bit.
Handball from Elliott was outstanding. And on Triple M Harvey on the replay screen, I saw Ash Johnson come off after kicking that goal. A big high five down there from Craig McRae on the bench.
And we've got to be careful here, the Bombers. We've seen a bit of this theme this weekend. Teams basically winning the game at quarter time. So Essendon have to find a way to fight back from McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. Triple M rocks footy. Zachy Merritt's gone into the centre bounce, wins it, drives it forward. Howe did well, got a fingertip on it. Spilled out the back to Murphy, who just kicks a high ball wide towards the safety of the boundary line, finds it.
Well, Moore recovered really well from that hit, hasn't he? His leg speed to take front position on Peter Wright had him all at sea.
Phillips resting deep as well for the Bombers. So they've got Peter Wright and Phillips deep. Draper in the ruck. Merritt and Martin. There is Draper. Trying to make his presence felt. Merritt just slapped it forward, but straight to the waiting Hoskin Elliott, who again handballs to Dacos. That's Josh Dacos. Has time to have a run to bounce. Pulls the kick to centre half forward. Mychek in the box seat. Redmond came to support. Elliott got the crumb. McCreary handballs to Mychek. This is all inside 50. Back to McCreary. Bombers have got numbers though. Laverde's there. They're happy to get that ball out of bounds. 30 around from the Pies goal. Pressing once again. They're 26. Bombers yet to score. Choice Hotels around the grounds, Chu.
Blues by 42 points over the Giants. 5:35 to go before full time.
It's interesting watching Nick Dacos. He's playing on the highest Essendon forward.
Pies are on early. The Bombers clear the ball towards centre wing. Big pack of players at that. Darcy Cameron went in hard. So too did Peter Wright. Hobbs at ground level got it to Shield. Shield handball out. He gets it to Martin. Martin does a 360 and then he's gone. He's gone holding the ball. Collingwood just absolutely ravenous at the contest at the moment.
Nick Dacos, he wanted to lay that tackle. Their pressure has been huge.
Short ball to Jay-Z's man, Pendles.
He's trying to do too much, the Bombers.
To Pendlebury, pretty much on centre wing, commentary side. Eases the left footer, looking for Mason Cox. Stand and deliver, can't do it. Got out the back, off the ground by Mychek. Dacos with his arms out, saying, what about me? I was there. And a boundary throwing.
Anywhere else on the ground, if you boot that ball towards a boundary, it's deliberate.
It's a good call, Duck. That would have been insufficient intent anywhere else on the ground. So an opportunity inside 50. Cox hit out straight to Laverde. His kick partially smothered. Jamie Elliott trying to track the footy. Josh Dacos has been busy early. Couldn't get a possession away that time. Worked out of bounds. 50 out from the Pies goal.
And why brought up Nick Dacos before? Because Guelphy or Snelling been trying to get to him, but he just goes up to whoever's highest to avoid that aggressive defensive forward.
Throw in 55 out. Darcy Cameron having a stint. Draper trying to get something going for his side. He can't because, again, the Pies win the clearance. Adams, high ball inside 50. Hind had to sit under it. Couldn't take the mark. Durham gets back and supports. Doesn't have a lot to go to, though, so he's trying to kick it wide towards Langford, but Murphy read it best on the outlet, covered the outside, took the intercept mark, and they'll reload again here, the Pies.
Just had too much speed, Murphy.
Yeah, I was saying as a team, Collingwood look like they've got more leg speed across the field than Essendon at this point. And Essendon's pressure rating 143, they can't get to him.
Bianco handballs it off to Dacos, chips the little one into the pocket, couldn't mark it, was Elliott dive into the ground, Merritt with a left footer, that's good. To Harrison Jones, had to go back with courage, and he did. And then he had Dylan Shield on the run. One bounce, Dylan Shield. Centre wing, second bounce. He's got space for a third. He's got time for a fourth. Wants to get back on his left, makes the right decision. Langford, 55 out. Peter Wright ducks back to the square.
Move outside 5.
Needs to go now. Langford does. Into the pocket. An easy one for Darcy Moore to get his fist to. That was a poor kick in and under pressure.
He had to come to this out of side and just put a bit of angle on it. And Peter Wright had a heap of space.
Tracks it over from behind. Here first. Collingwood 4-2-26. The Bombers are a point.
Kick in finds McCreary.
Dumb footy at the moment, the Bombers.
It's interesting that point. They'd like to go to the pocket to keep it narrow and pressure, but sometimes you just got to take the goal.
McCreary goes long down the line looking for Darcy Cameron. Redmond was in front. Could have got the free kick. Umpire said no. Ginnivan at the bottom of the pack. Merritt. Hobbs wrapped up in a tackle. Ball not going anywhere. 5:50 left in this first term. The Pies have got all 4 goals. Johnson's got 2. Darcy Cameron and Scotty Pendlebury. Taylor Adams again with another clearance. Just throws it on the boot. Wobbles it inside 50. Cox leading Laverde to the footy. There's Ginnivan. He raised the arm and the umpire said no free kick. There's the new interpretation.
And got his head taken clean off. That's what I'm talking about. They just go at him with real venom.
That's the new interpretation right there.
Oh, he didn't lift his arm. That's a legitimate high tackle.
That's holding the ball every day of the week.
Holding the ball.
Holding the ball.
I mean, too high, mate.
Did he drop his legs a little bit?
Doesn't matter.
It looked brutal.
Still got to go lower.
No, I'm with you, Doug. I'm with you. It was wrong.
Ginnivan should have just stood up in the tackle. He would have got the free kick.
Gee, they're creating an issue here that doesn't need to be created.
Yeah.
Give the lad the free kick for being taken, having his head taken off.
Now there's the first controversy of this game, and Nick Martin's taken the mark in the back pocket for the Bombers, short to Merritt.
Is it still booing the pass?
The fans, they're going bonkers. They're pretty protective of their little star small forward. Now Bombers just trying to control a bit of footy. Zerk Thatcher to Durham. He has to go. Did well, the kid. Kept his eye on the footy, took the mark. He's back of the wing.
Outside 5.
We'll have to get the turnover numbers in a minute. Sure, it feels like the Bombers keep turning it over and the Pies have been so good with the ball.
Yeah, 16 turnovers to the Bombers, only 7 to the Magpies.
Well, they've been inside 50, similar amount, 2 men.
At one stage it was even, now Collingwood at +5, 13-8.
Ridley looking for Peter Wright. Maynard stood in the hole again. We get a free kick, non-controlling umpire. From 100 metres away, couldn't see what the other one was, 10 metres in front of him. So Darcy Cameron.
Stringer yet to touch it. Peter Wright yet to touch it.
Cameron goes to the outer side for his fellow ruckman. Cox went up high, took the mark. So still at half back, Mason Cox. Big start to the Pies. They lead by 25 points. He's got Dacos running on the outside. Gives it to him now. Handball over the top to Quainer. Got some time to move. On centre wing towards half forward. 1-on-1. Mychek fisted away from him. Caldwell tackle to the ground on the 50 and let the ball up.
Is he the leader in the competition, Josh Dacos, for handball receipts? Sure.
I don't think so.
He does get a lot, doesn't he?
Tell you what, when Mason Redmond got him holding the ball, he didn't let him go by the neck, and then he made it work harder over when he had him on the ground.
He had him in a choke.
He worked him
That's
over.
what I mean.
Yeah.
You can't.
No, that was wrong.
Just keep doing that.
Plain and simple is wrong.
So ball up, 55 out from the Pies goal. Still 3.5 minutes in this first term. Pies have dominated. Merritt streams out of that stoppage. Forward handball. First touch for Peter Wright. Try to give it back to Merritt. Again, just probably the overhand ball.
Sure, Wright handballed that to Ruckman. Then
turned it over.
Well, what do we know about Collingwood coming in? They're a great pressure team.
Take away their pressure.
So you just got to be careful how much you keep running and handball it into them. They've got to get a bit of balance in their decision making. Otherwise, it's going to be they'll kick 20 turnover goals.
What's the Bombers' kicking efficiency, Ash?
Very poor, Brownie. Triple M Reds at 59%. Pies going at 79.
Darcy Moore to centre half forward. Draper dropped what he should have taken. Hine cleaned it up, handballed it out to Laverde. And Merritt kicks it this time to half forward. Straight back to Darcy Moore.
Well, the Collingwood defence is dominating, really, isn't it? Because of the haphazard manner it's coming in.
So Darcy Moore looks lateral. Nothing on. So goes back down the same line. That's a good kick, looking for Dacos. Durham did a really good job to spoil him. And then another evenly good job, but Dacos was up to the challenge. Dacos ran through two of them, then took a bounce. This could be goal of the year if he kicks this. Dacos runs in. That's the goal of the year.
He had the arm up as soon as it hit the boot. There was in no doubt whatsoever. Gee, that's a class goal, isn't it?
That's his dad.
So he had to beat Durham on the outer side. He lost him. Then he pushed the ball through another player, took two bounces and snapped it. And on the Harvey Norman replay screen, his dad with a standing ovation. And what a good time to come off when you kick goal of the year. You run to the bench and everybody claps.
Gee, can we have our pre-game predictions back?
Yeah.
We're very bullish on Essendon, but we never knew they were going to implode in front of our eyes.
I went a week early, they were drinking their own bathwater.
But have a look at this again on the Harvey Norman replay. He handballed it to himself along the boundary line, then tapped it to himself and the ball bounced up like a basketball. Then he's taken two bounces along the boundary line, stepped inboard, snapped it on his right, had his finger up before it even hit his boot.
Well, Nick Hine was a turnstile, wasn't he? He had the left arm out, he just walked through him. He had to body up and not let him through.
And Peter Dacos was happy. Of course, that was Josh Dacos that kicked that goal. And the Pies have blown this one open. They're up by 31 points for Ream. And McDonald's, they might have more in them because Pendlebury has Quaynor streaming off half-back, takes two bounces, runs to 55 and then sprayed the kick for goal. Gee, he struck it well, but just wide. Out of bounds on the full. Pies, chock full of confidence.
No, you're not. Okay. Outside 5.
Geez, 4-1 from defensive mid to Pies. That's a big number, too. What would a game average be?
Yeah, game average, Ross, for about 10 points thereabouts, if that.
10 points?
Yeah, I made that up, but...
about
4.
Maybe more.
Mason Cox makes a huge climb and then takes an eternity to get back off his mark just to show everybody that he had the footy. And then dumps one inside forward 50, Borgen out the back. Durham under pressure. Ginnivan's there. Close to the boundary line and out of bounds.
Has Stringer touched it? I don't think he's touched the onion yet, has he?
Still statless.
So a boundary throw in. You see Mason Cox, that was a big ride.
His foot was about half a foot off the ground.
It's a boundary
throw.
throw.
It seemed like he got up because he's 8 foot tall.
14 points is the average.
Yeah. Ross.
And turn over the defensive midfield.
Durham handball, the Bombers clear the area. Howe used the body well. Peter Wright, though, fisted it. Stringer, opportunity. Slapped the ball out. Then he tackled Jeremy Howe. Noble came in, picked it up. Got it to half forward. Here's Ducks man McCreary. Loves him. 55 out. Turns his back.
Oh, does he thinks he's got the distance?
Thinks he's got a cannon.
He's going to
Does he possess a cannon?
I'm not sure. He's Ducks man. Tell us about him, Duck. How's his cannon look?
He has got a long kick, but I love his aggressiveness.
He turned his back.
Oh no, you don't ever turn.
Here comes a big banger from 60, and then he just sets it up very disappointingly to the top of the square.
Oh!
To mark the Collingwood. I think it's Lipinski, is it?
Johnson.
Johnson's kicked two already. This is for number 3. And all of a sudden, it's a 6-goal lead.
Well, I apologise for the awe, but our commentators, I didn't hear anything coming there.
No, that's all right. That added to the commentary that time, Ross. That's fine. Good mark.
Well, they're imploding here, the Bombers, aren't they? They just can't find them.
So Johnson having a look at the board to see how much time he's got left. The umpire says, come on, mate, have a kick. He's kicked 3. The Pies have got 6 to 37-point lead late in the first quarter.
Sort of sums up my tipping this year, this first quarter. I haven't been on the Bombers for the last 5 or 6 weeks when they've had their wins. Jump on today and...
no, we've seen that in the age, mate.
Absolutely smashed.
Well, and that was a slow entry, but as your one, it's the long angle kick in and they get a launch at the ball. They come off the fence and launch, but, you know, Collingwood have had a lot of ball inside 50 and Essendon feel like they haven't touched it, Stu.
Unbelievable, Ross. Disposals inside 50. Collingwood racked up 16. Bombers, statless, inside 50 from their 9 entries.
And sometimes 24 inside 50 is a big number for the day for a team.
Yeah, spot on, Ross.
But the Harvey Norman replay, that's a good mark.
He's
really good mark.
Showing a bit, this young man, Ash Johnson, the mid-season recruit from last year from Halls Creek, putting on a clinic in this first term, and the Pies are blowing this one open. 37 points. Can Stringer get his first touch? No, he can't because Quaynor went harder. Got a hand to it. Ball at the top of the 50 for the Bombers. Noble wrapped up. 14 seconds left.
Well, it's a black hole down the Essendon defence, isn't it? They go in Collingwood, they score. They've been in 11 times for 8 scores.
Let's see if they can get a disposal inside 50. No, they won't because Crisp just gets a bit of boot the ball. Langford feeds it out to Heppel. McGrath, they've still got time, 5 seconds. Kick inside 50. Can they take a mark or get a stat or do something? No, they can't. That'll be it. In a corner, absolutely dominated by the Magpies. They've put the Bombers to the sword. And quarter time, it is Collingwood 6-2-38 with young Ash Johnson with 3 of those 6. The Bombers just one behind. Duck, Chu, Rossi, Nate Brown, Joey, and Robbo on the boundary line from McDonald's and Ring Hot Water. Triple M rocks footy.
That quarter for Foxtel. 4K Ultra HD. The best way to watch AFL. Only available on Foxtel.
For McDonald's.
Triple M rocks footy.
Warm up with a creme brulee pie or apple pie for just $1.50 at Macca's.
Hi, it's Marty Sheargold. Right now, Triple M rocks footy, and we're back on tomorrow. And at 8:30, we'll wrap up the round with Scott Pendlebury.
Scott Pendlebury.
6'3", Scott Pendlebury.
Sneaky 6'3".
You are a very sneaky 6'3", because I see you come in here and I think, I mean, I never thought you were Rove's height.
Is Rove tall?
No.
It's Marty's height.
He's a little bit shorter than me.
The Marty Sheargold Show. Back tomorrow at 6 on Melbourne's 105.1 Triple M.
What about cleaners?
Yep.
Mechanics?
Uh-huh.
Builders?
Oh, yeah.
Whatever hard work you do, Cbus are making your money work as hard as you.
Power workers?
Yep.
Factory workers?
Mm-hmm.
What about truckies?
What do you think?
Cbus Super, making hard work pay off. To consider if Cbus is right for you, go to cbussuper.com.au for a PTS and TMD. Past performance is not a reliable indicator of future performance.
Hi, Rodney Jane here. This month get massive winter deals at Bob Jane T-Marts. If you buy 3 tyres, we'll give you the 4th absolutely free and get up to $100 instant cash back on top brands such as Bridgestone, Yokohama, Continental, Goodyear, Dunlop and J-Trax. We have Australia's largest range of tyres from just $69 and alloy wheels from only $125. Your local Bob Jane store won't be beaten on price. We'll look after you.
T's and C's apply.
2 100% Aussie Angus beef patties, tasty cheese and chunky tomato relish. Macca's Mighty Angus doesn't just have might, it has height. Available after 10:30am for a limited time.
So, here's one for the books. Budget Direct have won Money Magazine's Insurer of the Year award for a record 6 years in a row. Come on, Australia! It's time you switch to Budget Direct.
Issuer Auto and General Insurance Company Limited. Read PDS and TMD at budgetdirect.com.au to decide if products suit you. Individual circumstances and policy terms may vary. Compare for yourself.
Get a quote now with Budget Direct.
The Listener app is the new home of Triple M footy. Oh, yes! And you'll find every Triple M call of every AFL game.
Big atmosphere here tonight.
Everywhere.
We're at the Triple MCG. Party time at the Gabba. Game on and off the stadium.
No matter where you are, stream the Triple M Footy Call live. Download the Listener app now. Sign up, choose your team, and you won't miss a game of the AFL season.
Listener.
The new Gem Online Rewards program is all about giving even more. And so, to celebrate the launch of the Gem, we're giving you this month's subscription absolutely free. With a chance to win a 3.2-litre 5-cylinder turbo-powered 2022 Ford Wildtrak. plus $10,000 worth of tools. Become a member of the Gem and you'll soon discover there's a lot more where those prizes came from. Join for free today at thegem.com. T's and C's apply.
Feel closer to the action with Foxtel's 4K Ultra HD. Watching sport has never looked so good. 4K Ultra HD, the best way to watch the NRL, AFL and F1. Only available on Foxtel.
Shut up! The footy's on Triple M!
Triple M rocks footy.
This quarter for Beacon Trade, supporting tradies with over 120 stores, expert trade teams, design services and a huge range of electrical accessories. Beacon, making every tradie's job easier.
Massive start from the Magpies as they torch the Bombers in the first quarter, 6-2-38. The Bombers are one behind. Young Ash Johnson has 3 goals to his name. Potential goal of the year from Josh Dacos. It had everything apart from the Bombers turning up in that first quarter. Triple M Red Z lending stats. Ash, let's tell us how it went.
Well, the inside 50s, 18-11 Collingwood's way. The disposals inside the forward 50. Collingwood 16 Bombers yet to register a stat inside their attacking 50. Taylor Adams 8 touches and a couple of clearances.
Bob Jane Team Arts look after you. Buy 3, get 1 free plus instant cash back on top tyre brands. Call 13 26 25 or order online today, bobjane.com.au. Robbo.
Brownie, really interesting in that huddle. The coaching staff got around Ginnivan, and I reckon it's just to reassure him about what happened. Like, the aftermath of that high tackle was brutal, really, and the mob turned on the umpires. And then you get, obviously, Josh Dacos just turning it around and everyone just going and erupting. But I reckon the reassurance was going to the young 19-year-old, especially in the huddle. Good discussions about that head-high tackle. He may never get another free kick again, that kid.
I'll tell you what, it was a great quarter from Collingwood. Good footy to watch, wasn't it? Took the game on, everything that you want. And I've actually watched the Harvey Norman replay screen now about 5 or 6 times while that quarter break was going on. Okay, so don't pay the free kick. What about, as you said, Brownie, the headlock and the aftermath of the tackle deserved a free kick by itself yeah. Anyway. So it's, just wrong.
Well, you know what, I
just
think,
wrong.
In a sense, it's good that it's happened because I think it's that an extreme example. It's brought it to a head. And I think they're going to have to find a balance and a median ground. Otherwise, this could be umpired out of the game.
The Josh Dacos goal, the easy part was actually the kick. The biggest part was the build-up to it.
For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M rocks footy, second quarter under the way. Can the Bombers respond? Stringer gets his first centre clearance. Langford goes deep inside 50 and Peter Wright will get the free kick. Perfect start, Bombers. Will this be their first disposal inside 50, Chew?
Yeah, spot on, Joey.
It was Darcy Moore with the arms around Peter Wright.
That's an unbelievable stat to think not even a possession inside your 450 for the whole quarter.
Not when you had 11 entries.
It's unbelievable.
They had entries. They just couldn't touch it.
So Peter Wright, just to steady the ship a little bit. He's done this a number of times this season when the Bombers have needed him, and he's done it here. Right on 2 metre Peter. Bombers are on the board. They're 1-1-7. Collingwood 6-2-38 this quarter. It's the Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard supporting tradies with over 120 stores, expert trade teams, design services and a huge range of electrical accessories. Beacon, making every tradie's job easier.
Well, you can bring your effort, but you can't be reckless and let your strategy go. So Essendon had been averaging 100 marks a week over the last 4 weeks. And then they, halfway through the quarter, they had 300 contested mark. They were just kamikaze handball, turning it over. And they couldn't defend the Collingwood spread because they had no structure behind the ball. So he'd be disappointed, Rutten, that, they tried and they took it on, but they did it without method.
Stringer's first touch too, I reckon, man.
Yeah,
out of that centre.
It was Duck.
Clearance.
So the Bombers get there first, back to a 31-point margin, bounce in the middle. Cox and Draper. Cox initiates the contact with Draper. Stringer, second touch, was a bit of a wild handball. Pendlebury underground handball picked up by Cox. High ball inside forward 50. Bouncing in front of Cameron. Now took a right turn, had to chase it. Side bottoms there. Cameron went back in. He's tackled to the ground. The ball up inside forward 50 for the Pies.
Sam and Darcy.
The umpire just organising the two ruckmen. Draper gets there late. Cameron wins it. Merit opportunity. He'll get a free kick. As you heard, the umpire, Durham, screamed in the end. Take advantage. Shield. McGrath. Right foot. Didn't really go anywhere. McGrath's kick. Guelphy. Good mark. Really good mark by Guelphy on centre wing.
Pies have just got the extra number here behind the ball, so Wolfie just has to slow it up. Waits for Peter Wright to kick it towards him, puts it on his head. Howe got the fist over the top. Durham got to the front and square, wrapped up straight away by a couple of pies.
Is that another example there where Guelphy can take another 10 metres and get that ball over the pack, or like I said, just use your angle a little bit more rather than just kick to the pack down the line?
Break the line.
Draper tried to grab it out of the ruck contest, couldn't. Chris did. Got about 30 metres, so it's now on the wing for the Pies. Cameron won the contest, just kicks the ball forward. Elliott in front. Now there's a chance for the Pies streaming forward. Elliott's kick, not a good one, went along the ground on the left boot. And then Redmond was held without it. And while that was all going on, Ginnivan just ran at his opponent and dropped his shoulder. But the free kick was already paid to Redmond. Not a lot in that one.
What are his numbers, Ash, so far in the first quarter, Redmond?
Mason Redmond, just the 4 touches. He's been averaging 27 over the past month.
Still Sidebottom appears to be playing maybe a defensive role against him.
Heppel, halfback, has Harry Jones on a long lead. Strong hands, good mark in front of Jeremy Howe. Not easy to do. Peter Wright is about 60 metres away down the line with Darcy Moore on him. That's where the kick's going to go. Getting across to support was Murphy. Braden Maynard told us pre-game loves playing with Nathan Murphy. Now Crisp attacks the footy hard. Gets the handball to Lipinski. Puts it out in front of Dacos. Guelphy's on his hammer, but Dacos is too good. Got the possession, but missed the handball, trying to get it to Crisp.
Holding, Essendon.
And then Crisp's given away a free kick downfield. It'll go to Zach Merritt in the middle of the MCG.
You're right on that matchup, Brownie. It is Sidebottom Redmond. But he might be trying to expose him with his run as well.
So Merritt with the ball inside the centre square at the MCG. Just pulls a little three-quarter kick. It was a pretty good one to Jones. Howe got the spoil in. Falls to Shield, who goes on the left boot around the body. Just missed. 1-2-8, the Bombers. Magpies 6-2-38. Even 30 points, early stages. Second term, Triple M trade, Beacon trade scoreboard.
Darcy Moore, straight up the middle of the ground. Really good kick to Elliott. The ground opens up. Elliott can go left, he can go right. He elects to just amble off. He's got a runner on the outside and now has a bounce. Got a lot of time, Elliott. Goes wide to Hoskin Elliott, Joey's man. The bounce of the ball gets out of bounds before he gets there. Should have done better. Jamie Elliott from that position with a boundary throw in.
Well, he was explosive on the lead-up. He was at R40, Kelly manning him up, and he just let up for the kicking. And Kelly let him go. He's just too quick to go with.
So half forward for the Pies. Boundary throw in. Draper wins the tap, looking for Shield. Handball over his head, got it to Heppel. Heppel, underground ball, string up. Haven't seen a lot of him yet. Right foot, good kick. Peter Wright, still 2 kicks from home. Jones leads into the pocket. Wright looks into the middle. Now he takes the ground in front of him and gets it to about 15 metres out. Jones ducks back. Really good mark in the end by Harrison Jones. He let up, came back, and then took a beauty.
That was a ripper, and I like the work rate of Stringer as well. A really good kick to big 2 metre Peter, but then he followed up. So he did have Collingwood players thinking, because Stringer had run into the hole, he had a few Collingwood players thinking,
he would draw it.
He had to keep an eye on him a little bit, but he's a great mark, this kid.
What else was on that kick, though, Duck, that you've been asking?
Angle. They changed it, haven't they?
So they put it slightly to the far point of the goal square that allowed him to run and leap.
Jones, 23 goals, 9 set shots before this one. 24 goals, 9 now. The Bombers get back-to-back goals.
What else has been evident?
24 points, 6-2-38. The Bombers at 2-2-14.
Sorry, Brendan. What else has been evident based on how they played in the first quarter of Essendon?
They've been able to kick the ball more?
They kicked them more. A bit more composure, because even Wright could have gone into 3 one-on-ones, but he just held it a little bit. So no doubt the instructions been, look, boys, our effort's strong, but we just got to think our way through.
Feels like we're under a test.
Feels like I'm in a team meeting. That's all the questions. See what I know the answer.
All right, I'll stop concentrating and fit in.
But certainly they've addressed it. Looks like their entries, and they are. That would have gone into the pocket first quarter.
Yep,
that one went to the top of the square. And because the Collingwood defenders zone off, the ankles are working. So it's a good response by the Bombers. Got the first 2 of this quarter. Got it back to 24 points. Manageable 24 points. And after the Pies dominated the first quarter. The McDonald's and Ream hot water. Triple M rocks footy. Cox looked awkward in that centre bounce. The ball didn't go anywhere. Secondary stoppage.
Thank you. Mason, Andrew.
Both teams bring up a half forward. Cox tries to smack it forward, but only as far as Heppel, sitting off the back. Fed the handball to Ridley. High ball. Dacos, that's Nick. Had to sit under it. Couldn't take the mark. His brother's there as well. Josh, he tried to get a free kick. Couldn't. Well done, Durham. Good handball too to Shield. Forward handball to Nick Martin, who can get it inside 50 on the boundary line. Pokes it over the top. They can raffle it. Hobbs and Snelling. It's Snelling who takes the mark. And he can go back from about 15 out. On a 45-degree angle, but pretty manageable for him to kick their third this quarter.
Got a little bit of luck. Might have been a bit unlucky. Josh Dacos might have been, but thought their way through that quite well, didn't they? Shield involved again.
He's having a good game, isn't he? Great response if he kicks this, Joey.
Well, Snelling, we said, sorely missed the first part of the year for the Bombers. Leans back on that badly. Doesn't even make the distance, which is fortuitous because Peter Wright's taken the mark. 2 metres out in front of the behind post.
It's an effective kick for that.
That's going to be a goal assist.
He was 25 metres out and didn't make the distance.
So Peter Wright, who's already kicked one, just needs to step out and snap it around the left shoulder. He does. He's got his second. And the Bombers have kicked 3 goals in the first 8 minutes of this second term to get it back to 18 points. They're 3-2-20. Pies 6-2-38. Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
He's had 14 already, Shield. 6 in this second quarter. Just his run and his explosiveness. Just to and I think his ball use. He did butcher one of the ones which Brownie jumped all over in that first term. But
he takes ground, Duck, doesn't he? He takes ground.
Triple M Red Z disposals in this quarter, 29-10 Essendon's way. As we said, they didn't have one stat inside their attacking 50 in that first quarter. They've already picked up 7 already in this second term. We're only 9 minutes in.
18 points. The Pies lead on the Beacon Trade scoreboard, supporting tradies over 120 stores, expert trade teams, design services and a huge range of electrical accessories. Beacon makes every tradie's job easier. In the middle, the Bombers have got 3 in a row. Stringer out of the middle. Right foot bouncing ball. Who can get on the end of it? It rolls through about 4 of them. Opportunity for Langford, picked up, tackled by Noble. Murphy went to ground underneath. The umpire's going to ball it up. 20 metres out from the Bombers' goal. They've lifted.
Stringer's lifted. No question about that. Out of the middle, had a few important touches. 4 he's had in the middle in this quarter.
Adams just waltzed through a couple of tackles, but then gave it back up. Merritt, bouncing ball. Peter Wright, opportunity, and Russ through for a behind. Half opportunity for Peter Wright. 3-3-21 the Bombers, 6-2-38 the Pies. Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
It's just incredible, the complexion of AFL games, how quickly it changes and momentum swings.
Zachy Merritt's getting busy too, man.
Triple M Red Z, Joey, 15 touches, leading Baldwin on the ground.
Phillips with a big fly, couldn't take the mark. Cameron trying to do the crumbing. Wrapped up.
Thanks, Darcy.
Member side, MCG, good healthy crowd here, big crowd actually.
You're ready to go to 70 now, Ash?
Yeah, I reckon we are. We're nudging 70.
That's 70 plus, I reckon. Kick goes inboard, McCreary.
74.
Takes the mark, has Nick Dacos running shotgun, gives him the handball. Adams sweeps the handball to Crisp, now to Noble. This is all through the middle of the MCG. The handball just missed Noble though, so he was under pressure to go back and get it. And then he's wrapped up by Dyson Heppel. He's going to get pinged on the ball. Now it's the Pies that just went one handball too many. And the Bombers have lifted their pressure.
Dyson, take the ball, please. John, let him up now.
The art form against Collingwood is that your defenders can't get run away too quickly. You just lose all frontal pressure. They've got to be bold in the decisions to come forward.
Heppel at centre half back. The Bombers have lifted. Short ball finds Merritt. Merritt wanted to give it back to Heppel, but he was going to run into trouble, so elected not to. Short pass onto the logo, and McGrath marks it. Lipinski stands the mark right on the logo. Another short ball. Finds Snelling. Let's hope he kicks this one over 25 metres. That's a bit better. Went about 40. Darcy Cameron popping in the hole. Well done. Coming back, and they got the ball to ground, the Bombers, but picking the ball up cleanly was Crisp. And then went with the right foot and dumped it out of bounds on the full.
Gee, their pressure rating must be through the roof now, too.
Off the charts, 209 in this quarter, opposed to only 155 at quarter time.
Wow.
So Ridley to pump the Bombers back inside forward 50. Alexis short one first, not 15, play on. And the ball's out of bounds. Kelly can't believe it wasn't paid. A mark.
I'm watching them, Nate. But also, well, you've got to let Darcy, Andrew.
Umpires having a good chat to the players out there. 17-point lead in favour of the Pies. 12 minutes gone into the second term.
Yeah, that's Matt Stevic talking to Nathan Murphy in the goal square. Just keeping an eye on the tactics down there on the Bombers forwards as Bombers look to try and win another clearance. Merritt's underground handball. Not going too far. Hobbs wrapped up.
Darcy, Andrew.
Some of the numbers this quarter, too, for Red Z Lending.
Bombers on top in the contested ball, 18-9.
They might get another one here because, again, it's Merritt on hands and knees, shoveled out a handball to Hobbs. And that's another free kick to Essendon. Free kick count this quarter.
6.
Triple M Red Z, yep, 6 zip Bombers way.
Oh, Pies fans will be starting to get narky in a minute. That's a clear free kick to Hobbs. Again, they call not 15, so it's Heppel. 55 out, puts some angle on it again as Rossi and Duck want it to the top of the square. And Big Phillips stood tall. And he's taken the mark 15 metres out straight in front.
Thanks, Harry. Thanks, Nathan.
Fair bit of push and shove out there at the moment. Some feeling in this game, Duck.
Absolutely, and it's good. So there should be feeling.
I love it when a ruckman takes opposition ruckman forward. Cameron, they can't mind the baby in a pram, some of them.
Tell you what I've liked. I can't mind the baby. I've liked Philip. I've liked he's been competitive. Even when he's been out of position, he's got a hand in and brought it to ground.
And he's pretty good at this part of the game, Big Andrew Phillips. And all of a sudden, the Bombers have kicked 4 goals in 13 minutes to start this quarter. And they have the game back on their terms. They're within 11 points. They're 4-3-27. The Pies stuck on their quarter-time score, 6-2-38. That's on the Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
Can't believe you blokes are jumping off Essendon.
No, we're just backing our judgment in.
Ross, you and I didn't jump off, it was the others.
I couldn't believe what they were saying.
Exactly
off
right.
there.
Anyway, they've gone in 7 times for 4 goals, 2 inside 50 this quarter. I mean, this is they've just flipped it on its head. It's like what
while they're
Collingwood did
competing and putting
game.
but don't you love Phillips comes off, and then their number one ruckman Draper comes in, so the pressure valve stays. They keep screwing down out of the bounce.
Triple M Super making hard work pay off. Duck and Ross doing a great job.
Even though we're saying less this week, look.
So all 10 goals to the City end, am I right, Ash?
Spot on, Brownie.
And here the Bombers go again. Draper takes it out of the ruck. Bouncing ball. Snelling taps it out when he probably should have taken the footy. Had time to go back and get it, and his handball coughed it up. Taylor Adams, he was tackled well. Side bottom, tackled well. Snelling made a couple of mistakes, but was able to tie the ball up. And they'll get a ball up 55 out from the Bombers' goal.
You're right, he did, Brown. He could have grabbed, but it was his 2 tackles that see it locked in his forward 50.
Heppel fumbled, couldn't take it with him. Hobbs was there too. Ball popped out to Adams. Underground handball on as far as Heppel. Heppel handballs it to Dylan Shield. Back to Heppel. Another one to McGrath. This is where they get in trouble. Short ball finds Hobbs. Under pressure again. Now they've mucked it up. Good tackle pressure by Collingwood. But the Bombers invited that pressure and Ginnivan get a free kick.
Gee, it was stiff no 15 called again by the umpire. That was stiff.
I was going to say that's exactly my point, Joey. They've called a few of those.
Yeah, they have, but the Bombers, they take the ball away from the Pies again. Turnover. Shield involved. Has Snelling forward to the ball. Sweeps a handball. Then he goes back to Heppel, whose kick was partially smothered, and it's going to be picked off by Howe, Noble, Maynard, and now Quaynor. So there's a bit of time and space now to do something. He's going to go long down the line, but Draper's got back there. Takes a big, strong mark. That's what you want from your ruckman. Game's being played in the Bombers' half this quarter.
73%, Joey.
Only been inside 50 twice in this quarter, Collingwood.
Now Laverde switches wide to Zirk Thatcher. So it's now the Bombers with a bit of spread. Oh, Zirk Thatcher's kicked and Martin made him work for it. Then Hines under pressure. That's McCreary. You don't get out of a McCreary tackle. And he's wrapped up.
Gee, he was lucky there, Hine. He grabbed the ball and just threw it away as he was getting tackled. Should have definitely been a Collingwood free kick.
Dropped it, didn't he? Put his arms out and dropped it. Said, I don't want to borrow this McCreary tackle. Again, Draper grabs it out of the ruck contest and gets good purchase. Peter Wright, clever, tapped into the path of Guelphy from the pocket, screws it around top of the square. Maynard. And now the Pies will look to get a bit of ball with Lipinski.
So rather than take those balls in their hands and be able to handball it off,
quick
tap
handball. He had time to take that and give a quick handball, didn't he?
Lipinski went wide and he found Howe, who looped it over the top to Dacos. Nick chips the ball centre wing to side bottom.
Notice they've just moved side bottom to a wing just to try and help with a bit of the defence stuff.
It's a side bottom, it's a slow play. Chips the ball to Quaynor. So Quaynor still a good 2 kicks. Just the attacking side of centre wing.
It's a great point, Joe. He'll get back into defence and help bring it out.
So Quainer with a big run-up. Kicks it to centre-half forward. Mychek at the front. Over the back, the Bombers clear through Ridley. It's a high ball, but only as far as Pendlebury in the middle. So he'll be getting excited when he gets the footy.
His first touch for a while, wouldn't it, Chew? He hadn't had a lot of pill.
Just a second touch this quarter.
Oh, and he's mucked it up too. You don't see that too often. Kicks it straight back to Guelphy. Now the Bombers need to run. Guelphy's got Peter Wright streaming towards centre wing. Uses him now. Shield dashes towards half forward, but they've had to slow down here, the Bombers. And he chips it to the logo, and McGrath. McGrath's got Hine. Hine's a runner. Can he go? He can't. McCreary stands on the mark. Ducks man. And Nick Hine. What turned into a fast play is now a slow play. So Hine kicks it to the pocket. Peter Wright's the target. Got over the back. Players slipping over a fair bit at the moment. Jake Stringer tackled over the boundary line. Now we'll have a boundary throw in.
Not sure why Pendles would mark the ball where he marked it and want to go outside anyway.
Unless he looked, they might have been players back on him. Back on the post.
Pendlebury getting involved in a bit of argy-bargy with Jake Stringer. You don't usually see that from Scotty. He's probably frustrated with his kick. We haven't seen him do that in 17 years. Kick it straight to the opposition from the throw-in. McCreary, just remember the one hand. Hine mopped it up. Shield again. Another disposal. Runs to 55. He won't go for goal. He'll pop it to the top of the square. Guelphy!
What a mark.
What a mark. He wasn't sure he was going to go. Then he stuck out the one mitt.
Well, it's courageous, wasn't it? He had to take the hit.
He did, didn't he?
He had to think about it, but then he committed to the contest. This is a tough ball, opening himself up.
Jeremy Howe coming the other way. Massive contest.
2 metres.
His lovely weighted kick, wasn't it, by Shield?
Yeah.
The contact actually helped him mark the ball in the end too.
Yeah.
Really nice kick from Shield.
That was a great kick from Shield. Yeah, geez, he butchers one and he just apparently just doesn't use it.
Well, he's racking them up. He's at 16 and they're at 18.
The Prairie fumble was costly.
Yeah, so Guelphy needs to finish though for 5 on the trot this quarter.
Oh.
Well done, young man. Guelphy's got it. And the Bombers have got 5 this term, and they're back within 5 points. They're 5-3-33. The Pies 6-2-38. That was their quarter time score. Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
Well, Robbo, can you help us with the wind down there? Is there anything to explain this domination of the city end?
It's absolutely perfect. Perfect winter day, as Joey said. The wind, no excuses. This is just great footy.
17 disposals, Shield. 4 score involvements. 1 clanger.
And just the clearances, 24-9 the Bombers' way.
Wow,
but the Essendon have been number 1 for scores from stoppages over the past 4 rounds. Well, they've kicked 5-1 from stoppages. Pies yet to score.
Wow, we can go to the hit-outs because we're talking about Grundy. Do they need Grundy? How are these 2 blokes going out of there today, Chu?
Well, if we look at the hit-outs, Ross, it's actually +2 to the Bombers. Hit-outs to advantage, though. 3-zip Essendon's way.
First 6 goals of the game to the Pies, and now the last 5 to the Bombers, and it's back to 5 points. Shield doing what he does. Centre bounce clearance. Half forward the Bombers, but marked down there by Maynard. And they slow up the Bombers, so Maynard, good mark. Spoke to him pre-game. Very polite young man he was too.
Stand.
So he's short ball with Adams. Adams at half back. Asked to move it on now by the umpire. Adams, big kick into the middle. Really big kick, but a good kick too. And he finds Brady Mychek right in the middle of the MCG. Ginnivan leads and then goes back and expects him to kick at 110 metres. Cameron flies, front of the pack. Hoskin Elliott tackled to the ground. Jamie Elliott picks it up, tackled by Durham over the boundary line. It was Redmond with a boundary throw in. Pies in attack for one of the first times this quarter, I'd imagine, Ash. Only 2 or 3.
Third time in.
And I love Draper's work rate to get back and help his defence out in that big high ball in. Fantastic.
So let's see if Darcy Cameron can generate something for his small forwards. Ball gets to the back. Pendlebury raised the arms, might have been taken high. Umpire said play on. And then Hobbs just kicks it as far as he can, but only as far as Howe. Centre wing.
A couple of times they've banged it under pressure up the middle. They've just got to get it longer and wider.
So Howe, he's just going to bang it back in. A lot of numbers around this ball. And it's Draper again, doing what a good ruckman should do, getting back, taking some contested marks.
And the difference is, like that one there just gets bombed to that predictable spot that we talk about. Draper read it like a child's book.
He knew his limitations, didn't want to kick it, so they got it to Redmond, the better user. And Heppel will go short to Hind, just the 15.
Outside
And they've
5.
worked their way outside the defensive 50. It's been a 5-goal to zip quarter in favour of the Bombers after the Pies kicked 6 goals to zip in the first.
I'll tell you what they've done. They've taken the Dacos boys out in this second term as well. They dominated with 7 and 6, and it's only Nick with 3 in this quarter. Josh hasn't touched it.
Long down the line, Peter Wright got the ball, but again threw it on the boot. Here is Josh Dacos. Kicked the goal of the year in the first quarter. Switches the play to Howe, and they might get something going here, the Pies.
Howe's got a runner on in Hoskin Elliott, but further than that is Jamie Elliott. Bouncing ball, tough one to take. Clean bowled everybody. This is a 50-50 ball. Myercheck running up it. Got the ball. Wild handball. Josh Dacos went through. Trying to pick up the ball was Merritt. He did pick it up, but then his handball was smothered off the ground. Crisp. Left foot inside forward 50. Miss McCreary. Hind is there. Beats him to the ball and then gets it out of bounds. Another boundary throw in.
Oh, he was pushed into it.
He's paid deliberate.
That is a
that's no feel for the
pushed him
game.
over the line with the ball. That was not deliberate. The umpire got that wrong. The Pies got a lucky one.
He was pushed into that footy.
The umpire was right there too, Duck. Can't believe it. McCreary, he did this in the first quarter from 60 metres out and then popped it up. So you'd have to think he'll pop this one up as well. Myercheck. Cox from the side, can't mark it, ball hits the deck. Hoskin Elliott tried to soccer it out of mid-air. Getting back for the numbers, Martin, Redmond and Hind.
They do it well, the Bombers. A lot more composed in their D50 this quarter. And they're just going to let their forwards reset, so they'll happy just to take a bit of steam out of this one. How many marks this quarter, Chew? You were critical they didn't take enough in the first quarter.
16 in the first, 19, make that 20 in this second term.
Already 20. Just controlling the ball a bit better. That kick wide.
I almost need a hotline to the Triple M box in your stats, Stu. You think their stat man be telling them over there?
Just watching Murphy put a lot of body work into Wright when he's trying to run back and push up the ground. Wright's got to let him know. Don't let him just do that to you. Don't let him dictate that body work.
Especially when you've got 20 kilos.
Correct.
Beautiful tap from Phillips. Got to Hobbs. He was wrapped up by Pendlebury. Crisp trying to break free. Shield got the handball out, but there's a free kick. It's going to come back to Jack Crisp.
They're just fighting back a little bit here, Colin. Probably had the last 3 entries.
Stand. Play on.
So Crisp going to wheel out on his left boot. Kick it into the pocket. It's going to go in the Darcy Cameron direction. He got 2 hands to it. Couldn't bring it down. Lurking is Myercheck. Twists and turns. Gets it to McCreary. Screws it around the body. Gets to the goal square. Well done, Redmond. Could have bounced anywhere, but he smothered the bounce. Rushed it through from behind. Pies took them 25 minutes, but they get their first score in this second term. They're 6-3-39. Essendon 5-3-33. Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
Redmond, the man who smothered the ball over the line, will kick it in. Just ambles out of the 10-metre square and gets himself an extra 20 in, almost to centre wing, looking for Peter Wright. Couldn't mark it, get a free kick though. It's going to be a free kick to Peter Wright. So just backward of centre wing. 6-point lead in favour of the Pies. 25 and a half gone in the second term, so not long before half-time. They've done a great job to get back in this game, to half forward and out of bounds.
Even that ball there. See that? So it's not just bomb down the line.
He could move towards
it. They get a boundary throw in. It's
I like it though. So, yeah, and he had good crack at the ball, Phillips, didn't he?
Phillips and Cox to do the ruck work. At half forward for the Bombers. Cox wins that one. He was looking for Jamie Elliott at ground level. Lipinski was there. Handball to 2, Elliott. He picked it up. Tackled. Got it on quickly. McCreary got some pace. Right handball. Got it out to Crisp. Handball to no one in particular, but McCreary kept running. Paddled out in front of himself. Did a really good job. Got it back to Crisp. Here's Ginnivan. Handball over the top. Hoskin Elliott to kick one. Give it to Myercheck. And Myercheck gets a badly needed one for the Pies. First goal of the quarter. And it was a team lifter, a team builder. 12-point lead to the Pies, 7-3-45, 5-3-33 the Bombers. Beacon Trade scoreboard.
Just McCreary's want and willingness to run, keep the ball in front.
Real speed, Duck, wasn't it?
Real speed. Jeez, Merritt,
it was a bit ugly, but it broke because Merritt was there sweating on that tackle, but that surge football just opened them up.
Triple M Reds Ed Pies, last 6 entries now for 1 goal, 1, but Crisp getting busy. 8 disposals, past 4 rounds, averaging 18.
Merritt's got some real speed, hasn't he?
Over 20.
Yeah,
over 20. He's got the pop. You wouldn't want to put him over 100, but over 20. where you need it, quick early, isn't he?
Yeah, 12-point lead to the Pies. Of course, Ream Hot Water built tough for Aussie conditions when it comes to water heating. Ask your plumber to install the Ream. Hot game of footy on here too at the MCG. Just over 2 minutes left in the half. Pies have steadied. Phillips and Cox from McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. Cox wins the tap, hits it forward. Side bottom, gone back to half forward now. They've just steadied. Ball goes inside 50. Mycheck leading into the race. McCreary involved again. Not getting past Zerk Thatcher though. 40 out from the Collingwood goal.
Do we have a ground ball stat for the quarter, Chew? Just interesting.
Triple M red set in favour of the Bombers, 20-15.
Cox again slaps it forward, gets to Jamie Elliott who threw him the left boot. Just missed.
Notice Cox wanting to do that a lot.
Did it last week as well. Yep. It's a 13-point lead to the Pies, 7-4 to 5-3.
So Redmond in the back pocket, chips the ball to centre half back, and McGrath takes the mark. He's got Laverde out this side. The commentary side goes there now. He's got some room to move. He's got Guelphy leading up to centre wing. Maynard gets there late. Guelphy did a good job, but the ball spilled out to Bianco. The 1-2 with Dacos. Left foot to side bottom. Got a runner on the outside. Didn't use him. Point of the square, side bottom. Normally good at this part of the game. Makes the right decisions. Players leading everywhere. Mycheck ducks back. Side bottom. Goes in Mycheck direction. Over the back. Couldn't mark it because Redmond came in from the side. That's a really good mark. Really good mark by Redmond.
You say made the right decision. I thought side bottom should have given the handball. He gave the handball. I thought they had space and they had the numbers down there, Collingwood, but by going back, Essendon got numbers back.
I think both teams, they got 1 minute up, so I think they're in their red time drill looking to just slow it down and not cough one up, but it could have cost them a goal, Duck, no doubt about that.
Redmond slow to get to his feet. He took the strong mark, landed flat on his back, but he's okay to take the kick. Goes long down the line. Bianco, he's got some tricks. Stepped out of traffic, but then just threw it on the boot straight to Laverde. 45 seconds left on the clock. Laverde tells
good to see that
everyone just to settle down. They can see that both benches are holding up a sign saying 1 minute to go.
It's good to see the signs actually make sense.
Kick long down the line. Phillips, Maynard, front and square. Adams, handball, missed Bianco. High.
Means 1 minute.
Got Peter Wright in a bit of space who can mark it and go here. He's got a 2v2 inside 50. One of them's Langford, the other's Stringer. Kick goes towards Stringer and then Howe, with a terrific looking spoil, jumped on top of his teammate, punched it out of bounds. 14 seconds to go. Boundary throwing inside 50 for the Bombers.
It's a great understanding when to punch and when to go for his marks, Howe, doesn't he? That was a ripping spoil.
Oh, he's got a massive leap.
Killed it.
You're right, it was a spectacular spoil, Joey.
So boundary throw in. Only the Bombers can score here, you'd think. Shield, handball to Heppel. Heppel, handball. Merritt centres the ball. They need a mark. Durham couldn't quite bring it down. Opportunity for Guelphy. Jones is there. They need to get it on the boot. And there is half-time. And a bit of a push and shove with Dacos and Langford. Starting to get a few more players just mulling around the scene. Big 2 metre comes in and said, I'll throw my weight around. I've got 2 metres of me here. And this looks like it's just going to fizzle out. Stringer trying his best to fizzle it up. Side bottom pushing and shoving with him, but it is half-time here at the MCG. The Pies kick the first 6. The Bombers got the next 5. And then the Pies get one just before half-time. They lead by 13 points. Collingwood, 7-4-46. The Bombers are 5-3-33. Half-time at the MCG. Up after the break, Ross and Duck and Ash. For Triple M, McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, we rock footy.
That quarter for Beacon Trade, supporting tradies with over 120 stores, expert trade teams, design services and a huge range of electrical accessories. Beacon, making every tradie's job easier.
For Ream Hot Water,
Triple M rocks footy.
built tough for Aussie conditions. When it comes to water heating, ask your plumber to install a Ream.
Triple M is your home of the Marty Sheargold Show.
Where did you faint?
Joey was working at Coles in the deli. Customers started shouting as I started swaying and went white. Shaving sand.
Your mate. Whoa. Number 37. I'm still here. You called me.
The Marty Sheargold Show. Weekdays from 6 on Melbourne's 105.1 Triple M.
Ream, Australia's favourite hot water. Steady, hot and strong.
Campbell Brown here with Andrew Shea, CEO of Builders Academy. What would you say to someone looking to get into the building industry, mate?
Thanks, Brownie. There's never been a better time to enter the building and construction industry.
Whether it's starting a Certificate 2 or moving into an apprenticeship in carpentry, we can help those entering the industry or pathwaying towards a Certificate 4 or diploma to become a registered building legend.
Thanks, Andrew. Get in touch with Builders Academy on 1300 Legend.
RTO 21583.
Crypto? Boring. Property? Too expensive. Invest in something that you can have fun with. Motorbikes. Classic 80s Jap, British Road, American Muscle and Colt Motocross. Buy it schmick or fix it up. There's thousands of collectible bikes for sale now at justbikes.com.au.
So, here's one for the books. Budget Direct have won Money Magazine's Insurer of the Year award for a record 6 years in a row. Come on, Australia. It's time you switch to Budget Direct.
Issuer Auto and General Insurance Company Limited. Read PDS and TMD at budgetdirect.com.au to decide if products suit you. Individual circumstances and policy terms may vary. Compare for yourself.
Get a quote now with Budget Direct.
Low prices, no lock-in contracts on prepaid mobile. Is that too much to ask?
Not with Kogan Mobile. They're famous for their award-winning prepaid prices. When you get started with Kogan Mobile, all you pay is $2.90 for 30 days.
Whoa, that sounds perfect. What do I get for $2.90 though?
That's the best part. You get unlimited calls, unlimited texts, plus a big 20 gig of data.
Enough's enough. Where do I sign up?
It's easy. Just head to koganmobile.com.au. Be quick. The offer ends soon.
Want to win free barista-made coffee for an entire year? That's a lot of lattes. Just buy a McCafe coffee on the My Macca's app for your chance to win. There are 25 winners every day. But hurry, limited time only. Ends 30th of the 8th, 22. Visit mcdonalds.com.au/coffeecom for full terms.
As an independent support worker on Mabel, you choose the services you offer, your own clients and ours. So it's easy to find flexible, paid work that fits around your life, as Guy discovered.
So what Mabel does for me is that it matches me with potential clients, and I can look and see whether they fit my time slots and my personal skill sets.
So for a rewarding career in support work, sign up at mabel.com.au today.
The Chrysler Galant, 1972's 1.3 litre 4-speed dynamo. But when was the last time you saw one of them cruising the streets? Some things just don't last. But 1972 gave us one thing that's still going strong 50 years on. Tint-A-Car. Bring the cool and the protection to your car with window tinting still from $295. Tint-A-Car. Bringing the cool to cars and homes since 72. Tint-A-Car.com.au.
Shut up! Triple M rocks footy.
This halftime break for Bosch 18-volt bi-turbo brushless tools. One battery, corded power, backed by a 6-year warranty guarantee.
For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M rocks footy. Half-time here at the MCG. Big crowd enjoying a really good game of footy. It's Collingwood 7-4-46, leading the Bombers 5-3-33. Ash Johnston, the youngster, in just his second game, kicked 3 goals in that first term. Peter Wright kicked a couple for the Bombers in the second, but it was a tale of 2 quarters. Collingwood kicked 6-0 in the first term. It was Josh Dacos kicking the goal of the year from the boundary line, and then the second quarter, it was the Bombers who kicked 5 unanswered to get back within 5 points before the Pies steadied late in that term. A Brody Mychek goal got them the handy lead as we see it at half-time. Ross Lyon here with Ash Stewart, and we get some of these stats from you. Ash, some of the Red Z lenders that tell us, sum up the first half for us, please.
Well, for the Bombers, in that second quarter, they cranked up the pressure. Only 155 at quarter time. In that second term, it went to 198. Plus 16 in contested ball. Look at the uncontested marks we spoke about there. Only 16 the first term, 26 in that second quarter. And that sort of rolls out to their kicking efficiency, doesn't it? 54% at quarter time opposed to 70 in that second term. But the kicks retained inside 50 as well, Joey. They went at 0%, the Bombers, in that first quarter. Did not have a stat inside their attacking 50. They went at 67 in that second term. And this is a concern for the Maggies. The clearances, 27-13 the Bombers' way. And they've kicked 5-1 to the Magpies at only 1-2. Just some leading ball winners. Merritt, 20 disposals and 5 clearances. Dylan Shield, 18 and 4 clearances. Peter Wright, only 1 touch in that first quarter. He had 7 and kicked 2 majors in that second. Look, for the Pies, 16 to Adams, 13 to Chris. The Dacos brothers, they had 13 touches and kicked a major collectively in that first term. Just a 5 in that second quarter.
This is the halftime break for Bosch Power Tools. Bosch 18-volt bi-turbo brushless tools, 1 battery, corded power, backed by a 6-year warranty guarantee. Ross Lyon, what did you make of that first half?
Yeah, well, obviously contrasting quarters by both teams. I thought from a Bombers perspective, they were a bit reckless early. They were playing on at all costs and just running themselves into trouble. And Collingwood just had the system to gut them up the middle off turnover. But they come out after quarter time with a renewed strategy. They were a bit more composed with the ball, which took care of the turnovers and getting sieved from half back. And then they took control around the stoppages, particularly centre square bounce. Draper and Phillips got to work. I thought they took Cameron and Cox forward and exposed them. I thought Cameron was all at sea, deep. And their entries got better. They had entries in the first quarter, but they put an angle on them, and they looked like they had some aerial supremacy down there at times. Your boy Jones took a ripper. Phillips went down there, and Peter Wright got going. I thought Snell's forward pressure and the ground level work of Essendon was outstanding, and I thought their running backs come into it. I thought Redmond, Hind and McGrath all had good quarters, started to bounce out of there, and I think that's what Essendon football's become over the last 3 or 4 weeks. Scrap for turnover, go off it, run from behind, but some composure and then getting in there with great forward pressure. So that's what I thought. I'm interested to see how Collingwood respond to this. I think Essendon will say, well, we've got the method now, we understand how we've got to handle here. And, I think Essendon have more better players on the ground. There's a few Collingwood players that need to lift. Adams was good early and then faded, but some of their better ones like Pendlebury and Sidebottom and those guys aren't getting a lot of ball.
I was going to ask about Scott Pendlebury too, because Jai Caldwell in recent weeks has been taking a scalp, going to the opposition's best midfielder. He's gone to Scotty Pendlebury in this first half. What are Pendle's numbers?
Yeah, 9 touches. Had 6 in the first, of course, to kick that goal, and just the 3 touches in that second term.
And around the grounds, Choice Hotels, the game earlier at Marvel Stadium, the Blues ended up winning that one pretty comfortably.
Yeah, they did, Joey, by 36 points. Carlton 13-12-90 to the Giants 8-6-54. Charlie Curnow, he kicked 4 majors, Joey, so he has 57 for the year, 5 ahead of Jeremy Cameron, who's 52, and Patrick Cripps, 34 touches in a major.
It was really a dead cat bounce up there with the change of coach, wasn't it? They had a couple of easy kills against West Coast and North, and the coach has taken the shackles off and now they're scoring. But over a period of time, they've been found out to be really getting hammered by a lot of teams.
And the other game starting soon over at Optus Stadium.
Yeah, it does. 4:40 start, so not too far away. That's between the Eagles taking on the Saints, Joey.
Now, Choice Hotels, if you need a break, book direct and save with choicehotels.com. The halftime segment, the Amy Clangers, who covers Clangers on and off the field. Amy does, and here's how we saw it in the first half.
And there's another game going on at the moment, JZ.
Yeah, it's a beauty. It's all squared up between the Giants and the Blues. 6 points apiece halfway through the first quarter under the roof.
We're 2 minutes in.
It's a draw.
6 points apiece.
Yeah, I know, but you can't say it's a beauty just yet.
I'll try and mix it up. Try and mix it up a little bit.
2 minutes into the game.
Got a good game and it scores a level.
Centrefield just kicked the goal. Had 5 touches early.
Oh, it's going to be a long day.
Gee whiz, what a game going on there. Scores a level. You get away with nothing in this commentary box. That's why we love it. It was there, Jay-Z, our man, calling a beauty there when it was 10 minutes into the game and it was 6 points apiece at Marvel Stadium. This is the halftime break for Bosch Power Tools. Bosch 18-volt bi-turbo brushless tools, 1 battery corded power, backed by a 6-year warranty guarantee. After the break, we'll get Nathan Brown and Wayne Carey to reflect on the weekend's action. It's been an absolute beauty and still more to come. Stick with us for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. Triple M rocks footy.
That halftime break for Bosch 18-volt bi-turbo brushless tools. 1 battery, corded power, backed by a 6-year warranty guarantee.
For Ream Hot Water and McDonald's.
Triple M rocks footy.
Shut up! The footy's on Triple M!
Straight after this game, Triple M continues to rock footy.
It's pumped as well.
Join the Temper Mattress call team for the Eagles and Saints. For Ream Hot Water and McDonald's. Triple M rocks footy.
For the hottest of hot water you've ever seen. Ream comes on steady, hot and strong. It just keeps on and on.
The smart new Ream Easy Set controls your continuous flow water temperature from your smartphone. Accept nothing less than Australia's best.
Legends making legends at Builders Academy.
Campbell Brown here with Andrew Shea, the CEO of Builders Academy. For those already experienced, what can Builders Academy offer?
Thanks, Brownie. If you have a number of years' experience in the building and construction industry, we can help you via a process called recognition of prior learning. We gather evidence of your knowledge, skills and experience and help you pathway towards gaining a nationally recognised qualification. Chat with one of our team on 1300 Legend. That's 1300 Legend.
Thanks, Andrew. Get in touch with Builders Academy on 1300 Legend.
Legends making legends at Builders Academy.
RTO 21583.
There's 100 years of history hidden at Repco and some great offers too. Like up to 20% off almost everything store-wide. Exclusive to RACV members. This month only. Exclusions apply. Repco. Driven by passion for 100 years.
Listener has all the news you need from the biggest headlines
Tonight, the Australian people have voted for change.
to the local news that matters.
A man has been pulled alive after a houseboat sank as extreme weather takes its toll.
Listener, your home of on-demand news and analysis, hasn't missed a thing. Download the Listener app for free and stay up to date with the news at a time that suits you. Listener.
Hamilton tickets are selling fast and it's time to take your shot, Melbourne. Weekends have limited availability in July and August. For the best seats, book now for performances on Tuesday through to Thursday evenings. Don't miss your chance to experience Hamilton at Her Majesty's Theatre, only through Ticketek with Afterpay available.
Shut up! The footy's on Triple M!
Straight after this game, Triple M continues to rock footy. It's pumped as well. Join the Temper Mattress call team for the Eagles and Saints. For Ream Hot Water and McDonald's, Triple M rocks footy.
Good blokes don't abuse junior umpires. Great blokes call it out. Triple M stands against umpire abuse.
Hi, it's Rosie O'Brien with you. The Prime Minister believes beefed up biosecurity measures at our airports will keep foot and mouth disease out of Australia. It's been running rife in Indonesia and viral fragments have reached Australia in imported meat products in the past week. Anthony Albanese has told Sky News we don't need to close the border with our neighbours, but we need to remain alert.
The measures that we've introduced have the support of the National Farmers Federation as well as other farming organisations. We'll continue to work with them because we regard this as absolutely critical.
Investigators are working out what sparked a house fire which caused 3 deaths in southwestern Sydney. 2 women died in the early morning blaze in Hinchinbrook, while a 10-year-old boy lost his life in hospital.
This has been a tragic start to our winter fire safety campaign. From the 1st of June, we've had 500 house fires occur in New South Wales. We've lost 13 lives due to home fires this year, and that's 9 more than the whole of the winter season last year.
That's Fire and Rescue New South Wales Deputy Commissioner Megan Stifler. The Coral Princess cruise ship, which has been stranded off the Queensland coast, has finally been able to dock in Brisbane. The vessel had been stuck in huge swells for 3 days, with passengers confined to below decks. And from tomorrow, people who were in the UK during the mad cow disease outbreak can donate blood in Oz. It's been more than 2 decades since the rule came into place.
Royal Caribbean's WOW sale is now on. Book your next summer adventure with up to $400 to spend at sea, free balcony upgrade and half-price deposits. End soon. Conditions apply.
Partly cloudy for the rest of your Sunday in Melbourne, dropping down to 10 degrees overnight before showers and a top of 16 tomorrow. Showers again on Tuesday and Wednesday. And our Listener app is the home of Triple M. Download to listen live or on demand now.
Shut up! The footy's on Triple M!
Triple M rocks footy.
This quarter for IGA Liquor, where good food deserves a great drop.
Half-time MCG, Collingwood lead by 13 points, 7-4-46. The Bombers are 5-3-33. Choice Hotels around the ground. Book direct and save, choicehotels.com.
Yeah, West Coast and St Kilda, 3 minutes into the first, and no one has scored, Brownie, so it's a ripper. It's a ripper, as Jay-Z would say. We've got a ripper on our hands.
Good on you, Jay-Z. All right, not far away from this one kicking off. The umpires are out. The players aren't out just yet. But what are you expecting in the second half, Duck?
Oh, much of the same, I would hope. You wouldn't want either side to replicate, I guess, either the quarter that they had a poor quarter, and you'd expect it to be a little bit closer in this third and fourth term. But It was just, it was a tale of two quarters, wasn't it? Domination from Collingwood, then domination from Essendon, and they did get a little bit of the momentum back towards the end of that second quarter, Collingwood. But I'm expecting a really close game. That's what we thought coming in, and we've now got that.
Ash, they would have had probably 6 or 7 of the last inside 50s of that quarter. The Bombers dominated early, but the Pies just wrestled momentum back.
Yeah, spot on, Brownie. They had 9 out of the last 10 entries for 4 scoring shots at 1 goal 3.
All right, the Bombers are out. The Pies are just about to come out, head down to the boundary for Robbo. Bob Jane Team Arts look after you. Buy 3, get 1 free plus instant cash back on top tyre brands, 13, 26, 25. Order online today, bobjane.com.au.
I tell you what, we've just had word and a little bit of a whisper that Mason Redmond came off the ground, and the emergency guys who sit in front of us here on the pickets, Brownie, they've actually had to go downstairs. So I'm just trying to see whether he's out in the huddle. Can you see him out in the middle? I don't think he's out there, Redmond. So that could be real concern for the Bombers in this second half, because he's had a great year and he's run off half back. But if the emergency guys go, there's alarm bells. So I'm just trying to pick up whether Redmond, and I know something happened just before half time, to see how his future is in this second half.
He took a big mark and he came down heavy just before half time and hit the deck.
That's right. So I can't see him out there, Brownie. So that could be a concern for the Dons. They could be one down, especially with the medicos leaving their post down here.
Great pick up, Robbo, for Bob Jane Team Marts. Everybody else in the commentary boxes up here got no idea what's going on, and Robbo has just told everyone before anybody knows that Mason Redmond's got an issue.
Well, it's a bit hard for us to know because we're up here, but
that's
you're
why
right. Anyone that's down there, he picks up on that. And he did. He came down hard, didn't he, on his buttock, lower back, which can hurt.
Best in the business. Dylan Shield has been the focus of a lot of attention over the course of this year, playing some pretty good football, and he's done it again today.
Oh, he's been brilliant today. His ability to win the footy and burst away and then use it. He's had the one clanger, which he got picked up on by someone, but he's other than that, he's been very, very good. And like I said, when he wins it, something happens. It does. And he's had a very, very good first half.
You're a big Dylan Shield fan, aren't you, Duck?
Yeah, I you know what? I admire the way, because he was under all sorts of criticism at one point, so I admire the way he's responded to that. I know there was a big hullabaloo about what Parker did, although I didn't see Dylan Shield do anything that warranted what Parker did. So I know there was a lot of talk about it, but just the way he's come back from that.
8 weeks has been
he's been brilliant. As Chu Man said, the number one centre clearance player in the competition, which is unbelievable. And he's doing. And you know what's the defensive part of his game as well, which I think he's really picked up on, as has a few of those other midfielders of the Essendon Football Club.
IJ Liquor a drop to your shop this footy season. IJ Liquor, like a 6-pack of beers to go with your footy snacks. Head to ijliquor.com.au to find your local store. IJ Liquor, where good food deserves a great drop. Triple M Red Z Lending Stats. Loans for the self-employed. I know you've already been through the stats, Ash, but just give me something off the top that you probably didn't go with your A material for Duck before.
Well, I tell you what, Will Snelling has missed a hell of a lot of footy this year. In fact, I think this is only his 5th game. Applies a lot of pressure in the forward half of the ground. Most number of pressure acts at 17 on the ground.
Nice one. Robbo, Bob Jane Team Marts.
I reckon they've done the Medi sub. Yep, number 33, Braden Ham comes in, and that means that Mason Redmond was the man. So he hasn't been able to come out after half time. He was crook after that marking contest. The emergency services are actually sussing him out now, Redmond. So the Medi sub.
He's just come out now, Robbo.
Into the contest.
Yeah, well done, Robbo. I've noticed the other boundary riders just copying your notes there. They've got the cheat sheet out. Well done. Redmond's got the warm-up top on. He's out of the game for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. Triple M Rocks footy, second half underway. It's the Pies leading the Bombers by 13 points. Pendlebury got Caldwell right there. Did a really good job on him in the first half. Josh Dacos, who kicked goal of the year in the first term, just dinks a little one on his left boot when looking for Crisp. Good pressure by the Bombers. Laverde got the fist in. Martin sweeps the handball. And now Zachy Merritt's got a bit of time and space. Pokes it over the top to Snelling. Could give it back to Merritt, who's the good user, towards Langford. Well done, Darcy Moore. Got in front, left his man, and took a nice contested mark. Got the headband ripped off in the process.
Well, good signs for Essendon there. Hunt to get it back. Their team defence, they stopped it in the midfield really strongly.
Moore goes long and wide. Big pack of players out there, and it's Big Draper with another strong mark. Having a pretty good game, the big fella. His kick goes back towards Darcy Moore. They're playing kick to kick. Couldn't take the mark. Stringer tried to mop it up. Maynard, handball. Taylor Adams under pressure. Merritt again, top of the 50. Saw Peter Wright out the corner of his eye. What a clever kick. Found him. Takes the mark 40 metres out. Tough angle.
Just watching, I know it's a little thing, but I pick up. Darcy Moore was looking for his headband. He couldn't find it, and he had to go for that footy without it.
He couldn't see. And he dropped the mark.
He did.
And I just realised when Draper took that mark, we're saying goal of the year, but it's probably going to be pretty hard to beat Draper's goal last week.
I still haven't seen Draper's goal.
Should have a look at it. Duck was a pretty good goal. Yeah. So Peter Wright, who kicked 2 in the second term, to get the Bombers going in this third quarter. It's a tough kick. Goes across the face of goal, just sneaks in for a behind. Bombers 5-4-34, Essendon 7-4-46, even 2-goal margin. Triple M IJ Liquor scoreboard, IJ Liquor, where good food deserves a great drop.
Just having a look at the Triple M Harvey Norman replay of Redmond hitting the deck hard again.
Might have hit his head.
So Maynard got underneath the footy. Ball towards half forward, side bottom, tracks it, fell over. Ginnivan came in, picked it up. 45 metres out on the boundary, centres the footy. Top of the square, Johnson can't mark it, fisted through for a brush behind. First score of the half for the Pies. They're 7-5-47. The Bombers are 5-4-34.
Well, seeing this, you can't help but reflect on watching Essendon early in the year, and Shield and that was second-guessing their pressure. Now they're just hunting them.
The kick in from Ridley, long and strong, and a strong mark by Sam Durham. I like this kid too. Playing his 23rd game. Short to Shield. Got the fluoro boots on.
Just Peter Wright worked really hard then, but he wasn't used.
Lights are on at the MCG. The kick from Shields, aggressive to centre half forward. Draper's hands have been good. Couldn't take the mark that time. Caldwell in the right spot though. Gave it to Merritt, streaming past, and again Merritt darts one inside 50. This time finds Nick Martin.
Gee, I love the attacking nature of these teams now. You'd never go to that position. They'd always go down the line to be safe.
Your North Melbourne would have.
Yeah, absolutely we would have. So centre half forward, and what they did is they got numbers there. So it didn't matter. I mean, the big fella Draper probably should have marked it. He didn't, but they had numbers at his feet. They win it and get an easy shot on goal.
Well, it's come back into vogue, hasn't it? As you come that diamond out wide and then back in through centre half forward.
If you win it, you're in a great spot to score. If you lose it, you can still defend. Martin from 45. He's been pretty good finisher this year, the young man, and that's a nice finish. Bombers get the first of the second half. They close the gap back to 7 there, 6-4-40. Collingwood 7-5-47 early stages, third quarter. Robbo, Bob Jane T-Marks.
Yeah, we've just got some word out of the camp at Essendon. It's internal bruising or bleeding, not concussion for Redmond. So they've had a real good look at him, and so precautionary for the safety of the player. He's out of the contest, and that means they made the Medi sub.
Bob Jane T-Marts, they look after you. Buy 3, get 1 free, plus instant cash back on top tyre brands. Call 13 26 25 or order online today, bobjane.com.au.
Well, that clip, Duck, will be on their positives ball use come Monday morning, won't it? Because it was aggressive. No one was really manning up Draper, and the kick was placed in front. It was an uncontested mark opportunity, really.
I noticed Draper turned straight to Shield and gave him a clap and said, well done. So it's obviously clearly a plan.
Bombers kicked the first one of the second half, and they got 6 of the last 7. Ball up in the middle.
Thank you. Darcy and Sam.
Umpire elevates it pretty quickly. Gave that one to Darcy Cameron. Quick kick out of the pack, goes forward for the Bombers. Guelphy attacked it hard. Durham was there as well. Handball to Guelphy, ridden into the ground by Quainer. And geez, he was stiff to get hold of the ball on that occasion. Quainer will get a free kick. Gets up quickly. Ginnivan's got some space on centre wing. McGrath been playing on Ginnivan, done a pretty good job so far.
Move outside 5. Outside 5.
So Ginnivan on centre wing. Kicks it towards centre half forward. Darcy Cameron the target, but big Draper over the top. He's taken about 4 of them today.
Strong mark. Back in defence.
He's growing in confidence every week, isn't he, Draper?
What are his numbers, Chew?
That's his 4th intercept mark. 4 marks, 2 contested.
Long kick towards Peter Wright. Ginnivan and Stringer. Guelphy's right there. A couple of blonde tips in that contest. Get a ball up.
Thank you.
So a good start to this third term. A lot of numbers around the footy. Both sides bringing up some half forwards. So So it's pretty congested. That suits Hobbs, who goes in low, so does McGrath, but again, bit of a rolling maul at the moment, so another stoppage.
Interest side bottom going back to half forward from the wing, Joey.
So again, Draper down to Hobbs. Knighting on a high tackle, umpire's called play on. Another ball up round the grounds, Choice Hotels.
Saints 2-1-13, leading the Eagles yet to score, halfway into the first.
It's a ball up, both ruckmen grab each other, side bottom, got it out to Bianco. Bianco, it's a high left foot ball. That's a floater, goes one way then the other. Really well read at the back by Zirk Thatcher.
That's a great grab. That's a great grab, isn't it? Balloon ball coming in, just had eyes for the ball only.
Short to Dyson Heppel. Then he splits it wide to Durham. He's got a runner. Merritt. Peter Wright on centre wing. Got some space to turn and go. Alex Nottu slows it up. As a forward, he would have wanted that move quicker. Now he's called to play on. Peter Wright. Dangerous kick in the middle of the ground, but a good one to Durham. Now the game opens up into the middle of the ground. Ridley got some space. He's smack bang in the middle of the MCG. Short pass to a 50-50. Side bottom got in, got a fist to it. It came back to Ridley. On to McGrath. McGrath's kick was smothered. Side bottom, another opportunity. Coming the other way with the Bombers. And now they wrapped it up and let a ball up in the middle.
McGrath just probably cost himself there. His first motion was to run sideways instead of forward. He could have maybe got through that traffic. Free kick in the ruck contest. Going to go the way of Big Draper.
You're right, Joey. He just crabbed left, didn't he?
Well, it's interesting for a pick one, isn't he? Like most pick ones would take that ground and find a target.
Draper's having a real influence on this game, and he kicks it to the hot spot. Peter Wright's going to run and launch. Couldn't take the mark, so he fought it down to ground level. Pendlebury taken in a tackle.
And that's the beauty of Peter Wright. Even though he's out of position, his height just spoils more, and they get another opportunity at stoppage.
See if they can create something inside 50. Durham just taps into the path of Merritt, who's continuing on his strong form, and that's his third mark inside 50 this quarter, Zachy Merritt. He's setting up all his forwards, and it's Peter Wright who'll go back and have another shot from 30 out on a tough angle.
What are the marks inside 50 since quarter time, Two-Man?
Yeah, it's 8-zip the Bombers' way, and they've only had 3 more entries.
And this is another stoppage opportunity, isn't it? So Draper, we talk about the influence of ruckman, another tap out to advantage.
He's kicked a couple, Peter Wright. Already had one side of this quarter. That is beautiful off the boot. Never looked like missing. He's got 3, and the Bombers are within a point. There's 7-4-46. The Pies 7-5-47. 9 minutes gone, third term. Triple M IJ Liquor scoreboard.
And for a big guy, he is a really nice set shot for goal, isn't he? He just straight lines it, good ball drop, and that went straight. No right to left, no left to right. It was just
and the confidence and the belief that, like, I'm sitting here thinking, well, he's going to kick this kid. It was like Brownie spoke about Ugal Hagen. Like that, there's nothing more value add than nailing the opportunity.
For someone of his height, he's compact. He's compact in his action.
Merritt this quarter, Ash.
Triple M Red Zach Merritt has picked up 27 for the game, 7 already in this quarter.
Surely Ross time to put a cooler on Zach Merritt?
Yeah, he worked off Taylor Adams here. I've been watching the spread. They're just getting off Adams and those guys.
The Pies lead by a point at the MCG. Sunday afternoon footy on Triple M. Adams worked his way through and was able to handball it to Bianco. Dacos on the run, slipped over, went back to get it. Shield was in there as well. Caldwell can't pick it up. Ball in a bit of a muck in the middle of the MCG. Nobody can get this one out. And the umpire just letting it go, hoping the ball will come out and eventually he'll ball it up.
It's interesting, Joey, when Merritt's humming, he tends to just do it for the whole game, So who would you put to him?
Maybe Jack Crisp, someone that can run with him who's got that defensive slant. Maybe Pendlebury could go to him. I think the Hunter.
Josh Dacos picks it up from ground level and snaps a left footer into space. Heppel. Getting there first was Kelly. Kelly short ball finds Ducks man Dylan Shield. Shield chips the ball out wide to Martin. Martin's is backwards of centre wing. He's got an option short and he uses that to Dyson Heppel. Slow build up from the Bombers. Dyson Heppel from centre wing. A dangerous kick to centre half forward again. Looking for Phillips. At the front of the pack was Noble. He's tackled to the ground by Hobbs. It's going to be pinged here. Holding the ball. Hobbs will get a free kick. 60 metres out from goal. Bombers haven't been in front yet today. Going inside forward 50. Hine does a run. Doesn't give it to him. So Hobbs Pretty much 30 players ahead of him. Touch play on. You heard it. Cox is back there. Ground level. Bombers out of the pack. Quick kick. It's Langford. And the Bombers are in front. 3 goals in a row to the Bombers to start the second half. 8-4-52. The Pies are 7-5-47. 5-point lead of the Bombers on the Triple M IJ Liquor scoreboard.
I can't really remember a time when they've gone in with that long, slower type kick, Ross, that they haven't at least had their forwards be able to run and jump. Even the one 3 or 4 minutes ago where Darcy Moore was in front, they were still moving to the footy.
I love it, Doug. I love the point you're making.
They weren't caught under it.
And they're not going to the pocket for the defensive kick either, because if you crumb that in the pocket, the percentage chance of kicking that ball, but he was right in front of goal. It's aggressive.
And even that kick to centre-half forward where they got the holding the ball decision, Collingwood had numbers there, but so did the Bombers.
It was the same play, wasn't it? It's the diamond, isn't it? Bring it out and bring it back into the point of the square, channel it into the goal-scoring space.
Triple M Reds head. Essendon plus 51 in disposal since quarter time, but these are low numbers for the Maggies. Side bottom 4, Pendlebury 4, Josh Dacos 3.
McDonald's and Ream hot water. Triple M rocks footy. Bombers stream out of the centre again. Phillips goes to Langford. Takes the mark in front of Maynard. And he'll go to kicking second inside 30 seconds.
That's why you don't come off, Joey.
45 metres out on a 45-degree angle.
Because when you're hot, Brownie. You know what? When you're hot, you just go bang, bang, bang.
Sometimes the ball just finds you, Duck.
It does. Don't think that was a deliberate pass, obviously. He was under a bit of pressure, but
GPS fell out as well at the back. Had to give it to the trainer.
Got a nice Mustaka going too, Kyle Langford.
That'll cost him 20 metres.
45 out on a 45-degree angle for 2 in a row. Across the face. 8-5 to 7-5. 6-point lead to the Bombers. They trailed by as much as 37 points at quarter time. Triple M IJ Liquor scoreboard. IJ Liquor, good food, deserves a great drop.
Robbo, Bob Jane, teammates.
Yeah, Dylan Shield, they're working on both thighs, cramping badly on the pickle juice, the whole lot. So they're just trying to rub new life into his legs.
Good kicking by Darcy Moore to Howe, and then Hoskin Elliott. The Pies have split him open here. Handball to Dacos. Dacos inside forward 50. Myercheck ducks back, and he marks it. Really good end-to-end play, but a wonderful mark by Myercheck.
We talk about all types of marks, but the one where you're backing back like that, that's courageous and difficult to take. You're not sure what's coming.
Yeah, and Ginnivan did his best to protect him as much as he could. He just got a little hand on Kelly to minimise the impact.
Myercheck has one to give the Pies. It'll be even if he kicks this. Hooks it back. Myercheck gets number 2. Scores level at the G. 8-5-53 Priest. Triple M IJ Liquor scoreboard.
Well, that's Collingwood's trademark ball movement, is it? Get out the back goal side, lengthen, and move it quick. So you just got to force them up at the ball. You don't want to play too assertive where they can lob it over the top and then start that surge, lengthened game.
It's amazing when Dacos boys do get their hands on it, how well they use it. And they were quiet in that second term. Important touch there. Does Bianco, when Bianco gets it, he moves a little bit like Josh? Joey, do you find, or not?
Well, he's got that sideways.
Yeah.
He's got that change of direction. Yeah, absolutely. Which he needs to have at his size. Bianco, not the quickest, but moves well. So does Josh Dacos. Scores a level. Great game here at the MCG. 2 teams playing aggressive footy.
Round the grounds, 2 men.
Saints by 1 point over the Eagles, deep into the first.
McDonald's and Ream hot water. Centre bounce. Steals side bottom. Kick partially smothered. Hobbs has to go hard. There were players coming at him from all directions. Took the ball, took the tackle.
He did that well, Joey, didn't he? Like young boy, come in clean, 50-50 ball.
Side bottom now going into the centre bounce. So McRae trying to get him involved, throwing him around. Nick Dacos having a tough afternoon. Merritt just throws it on the boot, wobbles it into the centre circle. Adams, quick handball, bit sharp for Crisp. Handball picked off. Hoskin Elliott picked off by Shield. Chain of handballs. Ham got it to Snelling. Forward handball to Guelphy. Back to Snelling. 30 out. Handballs over the top to Langford. He's going to go around the body and misses. Maybe one handball too many again.
Well, that's Snelling though, isn't he? He got the pressure on the handball received, turned it over, then got on the end of it. Pressure racks are fantastic.
Bombers 54, Pies 53. Halfway through this third term.
Jeremy Howe kicks towards centre wing. Laverde at the front. Good mark. So the Pies having a real trouble getting it past halfway. The Bombers setting up a wall here. And Laverde. Peter Wright ducks back to the pocket. Harrison Jones from the side. Just it away from him. Side bottom. Didn't elect to take the ball. Just tapped it out in the front of Lipinski. Quickly kicks it. Hacks it on the boot towards centre wing. Ridley picked it up nicely. Forward handball. Durham. Goes all the way back to Merritt. Merritt been kicking the footy well in this third quarter. Dumps it inside forward 50. Cox should mark this one, and he does. Defensively. Cox just puts the hand up. Slow run down now.
He loves telegraphing when he takes a big grab, doesn't he?
Very happy he's got the footy in his hands at the moment, Cox.
Look, he's taken a week to kick it.
So it's a low one, and then he just kicks it straight back to Laverde.
Look, now he's telling the boys that they stuff that up.
I think he needs a spray.
You've got to get the boy off.
It's funny how he just can't want to come at me.
So Laverde, again, the kick's going to be aggressive and on the angle. Top of the square, Harry Jones stood tall. Couldn't take the mark. There was a big pack bearing down on him. And there's a lot of numbers around this ball. Shields back on. He's had the pickle juice. Got it out to Martin. Around the body. Didn't strike it well. Hit the belly. It'll bounce just inside the boundary line. So it'll be thrown in 10 metres around from the Bombers' goal. They lead this one by a point.
Well, since quite a time, they're dominating the Pies, really, aren't they? It's deceptive, the scoreboard.
8 goals to 2 since quarter time in favour of the Bombers. Draper flips it over the head in a party time. No one was onto it. Hobbs plays a tackle on Lipinski.
Thanks, bud. Sam and Mason.
And the Bombers snap one out of the pack. Draper at ground level. Only as far as Lipinski, who barrels the ball into the middle of the ground. Ginnivan, front of the pack. Picked it up, did well. Now the Bombers with another opportunity. Dylan Shield, Jake Kelly picked it up. Goes back inside forward 50. Big Draper's down there. Can't mark it. Ground level. Went after it. Got it to Stringer. Stringer on the left. Irrepressible at the moment, the Bombers. And they lead by 7 points. 9-6-60. 8-5-53, the Pies. Triple M, IJ Liquor scoreboard.
I reckon you'd like to coach Big Draper, Ross.
Just see how good was he?
Hey, he just competes, doesn't he? And just goes at the footy, whether he marks it or not. He's taking more marks now because he's getting better. He's getting more confident, but even the ones he doesn't mark, I mean, and his follow-up.
Really, he virtually marked that. We'll see it on the Harvey Norman review. He marked it, didn't get paid. Second effort, here he's on the Harvey Norman. Like, 2 pieces on this, and then his follow-up and the tap out to Stringer. Like, that's a goal assist.
It really is. And other people get a little bit down. They don't mark it, so they just sort of stand there for that split second, and then it's too late.
I love your call, though. He's an energizer bunny, isn't he? Yeah. And then his celebration, he jumped over the pack.
Got a bit of X Factor, Ross.
X Factor, he's unpredictable, Joey.
So the Bombers get out to a 7-point lead, but the Pies are going to win this clearance. Pendlebury goes on the right boot. That's another shank. Having a tough day, Scotty Pendlebury. He was picked off by Ridley. Short and wide to Kelly, and now Heppel. Now they try and get their little chain going, but they want to control the footy, just take away the Pies' pressure. Marked by Durham.
Durham's been good. He's done some good things.
Let's see if this kick goes to the aggressive centre-half forward spot. He does again, although this time Darcy Cameron reads it best. Couldn't take the mark. Harry Jones just did enough. And again, the Bombers got front square players. Caldwell fed it back to Hyde. Terrific smother, Maynard. Brilliant smother. He's hurt himself, Maynard, but Noble picked up that ball. Goes towards Myercheck in a one-on-one. McCreary fumble. Merritt dispossessed in the tackle. Guelphy and Ridley go in hard.
He's really hurt.
He is hurt. We'll get to Robbo in a minute for Bob Jane T-Marts. He had five smothers last week, did Maynard.
And he's tough too.
He's already got that shoulder strapped.
He's coming off. He's really hurt.
Shield continues to work hard. Stringer not going anywhere. Robbo, Bob Jane T-Marts, what do you see?
Yeah, Maynard heavily strapped, in a lot of pain. Left shoulder, and Hobbs also with a shoulder problem from last week in the rooms as well. So both sides, 2 players in the room with shoulder injuries.
Everything going the Bombers' way at the moment. Stringer on centre wing.
Play on.
It's been quiet. Kick the last goal to centre half forward. That's the kick they've been using very destructively. Ball comes out towards McGrath. McGrath chips one, misses. Jones though. Howe picked it up. Snapped around the body, left foot cleared the area, bouncing ball. McGrath's after it, tackled by Elliott. That'll be without the ball. Free kick will go to the Bombers.
Well, if you break the game down to contest pressure and use,
50 metres too.
They're plus 21 contested balls since quarter time. They're 44 marks to 23 uncontested. So they're taking the space, winning the contest and using it. So they're winning all three phases here.
So Andrew McGrath, he'll be on an acute angle because it happened on the boundary line. Tackled out the football, and then he got pushed over by Jamie Elliott, was frustrated, and that's a poor 50-metre penalty. And speaking of poor 50-metre penalties, that's about 40 metres. So McGrath to the punt road end. Kicks from 40. Misses. 3 for 1 behind. Lucky to scrape in. 8-point lead to the Pies. 61 to the Bombers, I should say. 61 plays 53.
It's interesting that angle kicked up. Because they're kicking it angled into the corridor, the Collingwood defenders position line of ball boundary side, so they're getting a free run at the high ball.
Darcy Moore kicks it long and strong, but straight to Draper again. 50% mark. And he's having a big day. That'd have to be a career high, I would say, Two-Man.
Yeah, he'd be right up there, along with his 12 touches and 6 clearances.
And they'll switch the ball, Shield, Ridley as Hine. So they've gone from the Shane Warnstand side to the members. 4:40 left on the clock. Back to Shield, into the corridor. Let's see if he wants to go straight down the middle. He will. He's going to go long and strong. It's going to give Peter Wright a chance to run and jump. Peter Wright couldn't quite. Good work from Howe. Did well not to give away a free kick. Pendlebury goes back to Chris, back to Quaynor, and back to Josh Dacos, who has to go around the body because the Bombers' pressure's good. And Pendlebury happy to punch that ball out of bounds, get a stoppage.
Well, coaches love time in half, and they love attacking mid-turnovers too, or possession games with scores.
Geez, time in the front half this quarter, Bombers going at 70%, Ross.
Choice hotels around the grounds.
Quarter time, Eagles by 5 over the stage. Jack Billings has been subbed out with a back injury.
It's a boundary throw in. Draper tried to kick it out of mid-air with his foot. Adams, handball to Quaynor at half-back. Look at him go, but he got run down. Well done by the Bombers. Ball goes forward. Guelphy couldn't take it. Went back in, picked it up. Now slapped it out towards Merritt. Merritt with the left foot, bouncing ball. It's going to be a big 50-50 ball. They come in from everywhere. Draper was there. Opportunity for the Bombers. Elliott picked it up and his hands were clean to Pendlebury. Pendlebury, another one to Josh Dacos. Centre half back. He turns that into the middle of the ground and then he just flapped the ball. He dropped the footy. Bombers back into it. He's going to get a free kick. Josh Dacos going to get a free kick after he mucked it up. Very lucky. He's got McCreery on this side of the ground. Hasn't seen him yet. And he's not going to see him. Chips the ball. Looking for Cameron. Can't mark it. At ground level, the Bombers. Merritt's handball out was nice. And Martin clears the area.
Doesn't have anything to go to. So it's going to be marked by Quaynor. Chance for the Pies to build some pressure. Wide to Hoskin Elliott. What his numbers, Stu?
Triple M Red said Joey Hoskin Elliott. He's had the 8 touches.
So Hoskin Elliott going to send it into the pocket. A lot of players around this ball. Myercheck's there, so's Cox, and it'll go out of bounds.
Joey, just to back up what Ross was saying, so Essendon have had 10 front half intercepts just in this quarter alone. The AFL average for an entire game is 23.
And a dominant third term by the Bombers. Pies hanging in. Only trailed by 8 points because of their dominant first quarter. Cox and Draper. Martin without it. Free kicks. Can he go back to Nick Martin?
Well, they're all over him everywhere, aren't they? Like their attack on the ball. Often you see 2 Essendon players clacking heads because they're ferocious in their hunt. It's fantastic to watch.
And Martin short to Hines. 2:30 left on the clock. 3 goal to 1 quarter in favour of the Bombers. McGrath. Merritt. He's kicking the ball beautifully. That's a good one too to Durham. Opens up the field. Has Jake Kelly running shotgun. Kelly didn't really want it. Now he gets it. Just back of the wing. He's happy to give it to Ridley, point of the square. So just a bit of slow play at the moment. Back to Durham, who's found a bit of space on the wing.
Outside 5. Jack, stay out. Thanks, mate.
Draper's pushed forward.
Stringer's one-on-one with Noble.
Stringer wants it in the pocket. Kick's going to go in that direction. Stringer will get a run and jump at it. Couldn't take it, Mark. Guelphy front square. Caldwell probably didn't need to give the handball. Langford fed it back to Heppel. Wants his left boot. Couldn't get on it. And the handball missed Merritt, who did well to lay a strong tackle on the Pinsky. And this umpire's been red hot. This umpire's been red hot.
There was no prior opportunity, was it? There'll be 50 here if he doesn't shut up, Lipinski.
So Merritt, 55 out. He's been elite at this kick inside forward 50 this quarter.
There are two guys that should have done or had shots even, rather than giving that extra handball, which have done a bit off.
Ginnivan asking where the mark is. Merritt now into the pocket looking for Durham. And he marks it. Still going to have to kick it 50 metres, but Merritt again delivers.
I think he was going for Stringer. Stringer had Noble. Noble didn't defend him earlier.
Gives the handball off the Stringer. Pumps it into the pocket. Big Draper. Big occasion.
When a player's hot, he's hot, Doug. Just wherever he is, kick it to him.
He's taken the game by the scruff of the neck in this quarter. By the what? Scruff of the neck.
The scruff.
So Big Draper. Punt road in on the boundary.
I don't know if he's got a left boot though.
What's he got?
He's got everything. He'll put it through.
Check side.
He's very watchable. Banana.
There it is.
Big Draper. The banana. And he high knees it back to the middle. The Bombers out by 14, 10-7-67. The Pies rate 5.53.
And for all the good play, too, man, it's built off their pressure. Just give us first, second, third quarter pressure.
Doug, in the first quarter, Bombers only going at 155. We know the average is 180. Second term, 198. And this quarter, they're cracking in at 208.
They're just built and built. And they're still making some blues. They're still throwing the ball around a little bit too much. But, Draper, hasn't he he's had a ripping quarter. Maybe not on the stat sheet, but in terms of influence.
And because Collingwood get back on you with the defence, if you go too quickly into it, then they just counterpunch you. So they've just been a bit more composed and had the ability to put pressure on at the fall of the ball. What's ground ball, Stu? I'd love to know after quarter time.
Come back to you shortly, Ross.
30 seconds left in the quarter. Josh Dacos, kick goes wide him on the wing. Chance for the Pies, sweeps the handball to McCreary. We know he's got some leg speed, but so does Hines, who did really well. There's the pressure you're talking about, Chew. Just did enough to get the kick to go out of bounds on the full.
Their ground ball since quarter time, +8. Sorry, Joey, but the loose ball, that's where the big differential is, Ross. Bombers are at +15, 33-18.
Out on the spread. Yep. Transition away from stoppages and contests.
Choice that tells around the grounds.
Eagles by 5 points over the Saints early into the second quarter.
12 seconds left in the quarter. Bit going on off the ball. Ginnivan's involved.
Stand up, thank you.
I don't want to give away a free kick here, Essendon. They've done so much right. They've earned this 14-point lead. Cox grabs it out of the ruck. Terrific smother from Stringer. Merritt just slaps it forward. Dacos on hands and knees. McCreary going to kick it to the top of the square. Essendon have got the extra defender. Ridley's back there. And the crowd are into this one. It's been 10 goals to 2 since quarter time. Bombers all over the Magpies. Again, the Pies are think they're going to play another nail-biter. Big fourth quarter coming up. It's Essendon 10-7-67. Collingwood 8-5-53. Looking forward to this fourth quarter from McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. Triple M rocks footy.
That quarter for IGA Liquor, where good food deserves a great drop.
For McDonald's,
Triple M rocks footy.
warm up with a creme brulee pie or apple pie for just $1.50 at Macca's.
Hi, it's Marty Sheargold. Right now, Triple M rocks footy, and we're back on tomorrow. And at 8:30, we'll wrap up the round with Scott Pendlebury.
Interstate teams and the MCG, is the fixture unfair?
Well, it's unfair for locals as well. I think the Roo boys have got one game at the G this year.
Exactly right.
Well, the Roos are calling Marvel the Fortress this year for good reason.
The Northstress.
The Northstress.
The Marty Sheargold Show. Back tomorrow at 6 on Melbourne's 105.1 Triple M.
Stop paying more for your home or business loans just because you're self-employed. For 20 years, Chocolate Money has been helping builders, developers, subcontractors and the self-employed buy their first home and investment property and helping helping with their building projects and cash flow. Chocolate Money is the mortgage broker of choice for the self-employed. Call now and find out how they can sweeten your financial situation. 1300 137 539 or chocolatemoney.com.au. Australian credit licence 387277.
Things are looking up. Right now, some of Victoria's leading home builders are offering a stunning ColourBond steel roof as a standard inclusion or a no-cost upgrade. Visit colorbond.com/winbig to find participating builders. Plus, you could win up to $15,000 towards your landscaping. Enter now at colorbond.com/winbig. ColourBond Steel, made for Australia, loved in Victoria. Conditions apply. See website. Vic residents 18 plus and 310822.
If you've been in a car accident and it's not your fault, you've got rights.
I didn't know that.
Yes, you have a legal right to a car similar to the one you were driving. Just call Right to Drive right where you are. They'll arrange an accident loan car to be delivered to your door. It'll keep you on the road until your car's ready to be picked up from the repairers. And it's at no cost to you.
I didn't know that either.
So if you've had an accident with another car that's not your fault, remember, righttodrive.com.au. Conditions apply.
Denny Ute-Muster is back and it's bigger and Aussier than ever, with driving comps, pool rides and so much more. And right now, Triple M is giving you the chance to win a double pass for you and a mate. Just visit the Triple M win page and finish this sentence. The Denny Ute-Muster is as Aussie as...
Find the best collectible cars on Just Cars. Grab one to rebuild for $500. Or, for just shy of $1 million, get a rare supercar. There's thousands of collectible cars for sale now at justcars.com.au. I've done this for years, but it's never felt so hard.
My business needs support. So do I.
New Access for Small Business Owners, developed by Beyond Blue, provides mental health coaching to get you feeling like yourself again. Designed for small business owners and sole traders, it's via phone or video, and you don't need a doctor's referral.
That'd really help.
Search New Access for Small Business Owners and inquire today.
Listen up, everybody. Kogan Mobile's award-winning prepaid prices just got even better. You can get started with Kogan Mobile for just $2.90 for 30 days. That comes with unlimited calls, unlimited texts, plus a big 20 gig of data. There's no hidden costs, just amazing value with no bill shock. Thousands of Aussies have been making the switch to Kogan Mobile thanks to the quick and easy activation. So make the call. Switch to Kogan Mobile from just $2.90 for the first 30 days at koganmobile.com.au.
Shut up! The footy's on Triple M!
Triple M rocks footy.
This quarter for Repco. Show your card and save this month at Repco. Driven by passion for 100 years.
From Don's Room Hot Water, Triple M rocks footy. Ash just got up Sam Draper's goal from last week, contending with Josh Dacos's goal of the year today, so they're both in the frame.
Pretty good.
8-5-53 the Pies, 10-7-67 are the Bombers. They lead by 14 points at the MCG. They kicked 5 goals to 1 in the third term. They kicked 5 goals to 1 in the second term after Collingwood opened up with 6-0 in the first term, but it's been all the Bombers since then.
Yeah, well, I'm interested to see what the Pies do. They've got their system, they've got their structure, but to me, they're getting creamed in the midfield, they're getting creamed in the ruck. I'm interested to see if they can throw in a Dacos. What changes can they make to spark it? Side bottom went in, didn't quite happen, you know, and they're just getting out-hunted, out-pressured, and the Essendon big men are really dominating, I feel. Like, obviously, Draper, I think Wright's dangerous, you know, Jones has been good, Stringer's got impact, so unless they lift their intensity around the ball and their spread, Chew nailed it, they're getting beaten on the spread, they can't win this game. So let's look for some changes. Maybe Elliott on ball. We see him walking to the middle of the ground. They need some spark.
I'll tell you what they will have. They'll have confidence going into this last quarter, yep. Collingwood. They've been very good.
Spot on, Duck.
And you would expect that those conversations would have been had right there, right then. We've done this before, boys. Come on, we know we can do it. And saying that, I'm just looking at the Harvey Norman, and Maynard looks a little bit distraught. We'll get down to Robbo. And
that entire huddle, he went through a fitness test. So he's been down in the rooms, he's had injections, and they've put him through a painful fitness test. Now, Carmichael's got his gear off, so he's ready to go. So they haven't pulled the trigger yet. Hobbs is okay. He's in a similar thing. Re-strapped injections. Let's see how Maynard goes in this last turn, but could be out of the contest.
Triple M, Red Z lending stats.
Top 3 ranked players. Zach Merritt with 33, Draper 14, 6 clearances and a major and 14 hit-outs. Shield with 25.
Still side bottom, gone to full forward.
Bombers by 14 points. Here's Lee Montagna on Triple M footy.
McDonald's and Ream hot water. Jamie Elliott in the centre bounce. Stringer's in there as well. Caldwell. Merritt again. Got that first ball. Fed it out to Martin. Back to Merritt. Now back to Martin. Half back. Goes on his left boot wide. Looking for Snelling. Ball goes out of bounds. Centre wing out of sight. MCG.
And guess what? He's gone to full forward. He swapped straight over, Joey. So they're just playing a little few ducks and drakes.
Funny buggers.
Yeah.
Cool.
He's come up as the highest forward, man.
So it's going to be thrown in on centre wing. Jamie Elliott took the centre bounce and he's gone straight to full forward. Merritt again with a clearance. Handballs it to Nick Martin. Forward handball. Hobbs just got some separation off Crisp and then the lucky kick fell to Jake Stringer playing in front.
Do those types of things work, Ross?
I'm not sure. I tried a few. That's why I'm out of a job.
Stringer sent the ball inside 50, but Quaynor took a nice mark coming back.
Because side bottom now is not a. Is he gone on? Has he gone back to the wing? Where's he gone?
He was the highest forward, and he's got high in there, just inside the square. But you think of his great use, been on the wing, hasn't it? Going up and down. Hoskin Elliott, not so much. But Hoskin Elliott's still in the wing. They're sticking with that.
I think it might be Crisp that's gone back on ball. Pendlebury, Taylor Adams. And now Jeremy Howe has the mark.
Robbo, Bob Jane teammates.
Official, Maynard done, strapping off, ice on, a lot of pain through that shoulder, failed the fitness test at three-quarter time.
Harvey Norman by 3, get 1 free, plus he's the cash back on Tyre Brands, call 13 26 25, order online today. BobJane.com.au, the Bombers through Ridley, get the ball back, short ball finds Heppel. On centre wing, Dyson Heppel.
Well, if you're Mason Cox, you've got one job there, bring it to ground so you get a play on the ball.
Heppel looks to the lead of Peter Wright. Darcy Moore comes in from the side and puts it out of bounds on a boundary throw-in.
It's interesting. Once they got in with composed entry and not super quick, Collingwood just haven't been able to get the ball out.
It's a boundary throw-in. If the Bombers get the first one, it's a long way back for the Pies. It's a boundary throw-in. Phillips does the ruck work. Got out the back to Guelphy. Going to get a free quick, Guelphy. Got to push in the back. And this for a 20-point lead.
If he kicks this, Stu, how many stoppage goals will this be?
Triple M Red Z, Ross. That would be stoppage goal number 8.
Wow,
was it there on the Harvey Norman replay screen?
Well, he dived. He got tackled. The ball was hit clear and then went into his back. But he dives forward.
Ultimately, he didn't have the ball, did he? Do you think it got knocked free?
Yeah, no, it did get knocked free. Ginnivan wouldn't have got it.
Guelphy. 45 out. 45 to Grangle to the city end. Gun barrel straight. Bombers are up by 20. Early stage to the last quarter. 11-7-73. Collingwood 8-5-53. Triple M Repco scoreboard. Show your card and save this month at Repco. Driven by passion for 100 years.
Well, while we're on Ginnivan, since that high tackle, has anyone seen him in the game?
Yeah, no, he's had a couple of touches, a handball, and hasn't had a lot of it, man. Five disposals.
It would have to dent his confidence, thinking
that's
that
what I'm
he's not going
saying.
to get a free kick. Yeah.
Because you could see him look. He was a bit shell-shocked, wasn't he? You'd feel discriminated against, wouldn't you? You'd feel this game's not working for him.
Now they've been dominant around the stoppages. Stu, what are the stoppage numbers?
So the scores are 8-2-50. Collingwood 1-2-8. Overall, the Bombers are plus 14 in clearances.
Merritt's come to the bench. Shields come straight into the centre bounce with Caldwell and Stringer. Phillips and Cox, long way back now for Collingwood. You know they'll keep coming though. They always do, the Pies, from McDonald's and Ream hot water. Cox tried to get it to Jamie Elliott. Gone back into the centre bounce. Phillips worked Taylor Adams off the footy. Stringer, been much better since quarter time. Broke the tackle and then kicks it on the outside of the boot towards half forward. Langford didn't take possession. Hobbs might have been held. Dacos, that's Nick Dacos. He's had nowhere to go today. His numbers for Red Z Lending, Nick Dacos.
Nick Dacos, just the 13 touches, Joey.
Put some more work into him tonight. Bombers, Caldwell, clever handball, got it to Durham, to the streaming Stringer, loads up from 45, shanked the kick.
Well, in the end, he was just under too much pressure there. Not sure who the Collingwood player was, but
Dacos
got up to him very quickly. He probably should have popped it over the top.
But they sat outside well, didn't they? Yeah. Durham just sat outside the congestion. They gave him the outlet.
Darcy Moore goes short into the back pocket. The mark taken by Murphy. So what can the Pies muster here? Because they're looking a little bit impotent at the moment. Into the middle of the ground. It's a good kick to Jamie Elliott. Stretched high. No one really to go to, so he transfers play, looking for McCreary in the front of that pack. Hoskin Elliott gave it to McCreary. Crosses the 50. The Pies need one. Can he deliver? No.
Well, Kelly, I understand defenders dropping off their man, but that was a long kick into the corridor. Kelly, that's the second time he's just let Elliott go and take an uncontested mark. You've got to stop it in the midfield and get up on him there if you're Kelly.
Triple M Seabus Super special comments. Seabus Super making hard work pay off. Ross Lyon, Wayne Carey. Bombers by 19.
Because it doesn't fit with what the rest of the Essendon team are doing and how they're defending.
Nick Martin had another really nice game at half back for the Bombers. Long, strong ball towards the wing. Shepherd off the footy. It's against Ben Hobbs on Quaynor. So Quaynor just back of the wing. Shane Warne stand side, MCG. Choice Hotels around the grounds, Stu.
It's the Eagles leading the Saints by 4 points, almost halfway into the second quarter.
Another contest win by the Bombers. Kelly's handball wide. Snelling just kicked it forward. Caldwell wrapped up in a tackle, holding the ball. Nick Dacos.
And what's he at this point, Chu?
Nick Dacos this week disposal number 14. His season low is 16.
Again, the kick goes into the corridor, but side bottom wasn't expecting it. Hobbs wins possession. Has Guelphy making space forward to the ball. If the kick can get to him, it does. But it's going to be a free kick, so Guelphy will just slow it up for the time being. As players in the middle, one of them's Kelly. Instead, he goes outside to Heppel, who can run, and now eventually goes to Jake Kelly. 52 out, back to Heppel, but he's on his wrong side. He wants to come back on his left, and then he's going to kick it into the pocket. Langford had to go. Murphy did. Got the fist in, got it out of bounds.
Does he muck that up, Heppel?
Yeah, he slaughtered that Heppel, didn't he? He had players everywhere. He ran himself into trouble.
It was almost harder not to pick one out.
Yeah, he chose the harder kick.
He shouldn't call for it if he's running on his right foot if he's not going to kick it.
It's a boundary throw in. Draper in the ruck against Cox. Cox wins that one. Flicked it out. Durham runs after it. Scoops it back. Should have been a throw and paid by the umpire. So Chris got some runners on the outside. Collingwood stopped to a walk. A lot of players wanting the ball lateral at the moment instead of running forward. Adams on centre wing gets the free kick. Dacos wants another lateral ball. Adams, the centre half forward. Myercheck and Cameron at ground level. Draper handballed it out to McGrath, to Heppel, back to Kelly. Chips the ball back in the defensive 50. Ridley marks the footy. He's looking for Langford on the outer side. Really good mark. Engaged Dacos and then pushed him off and took the mark at half back.
Fuller running here, the Bombers. They've got some spread and overlap. Hine.
Well, it's interesting, Collingwood, they're trying to model what Essendon have been doing, those long attacking, but they're not set up for it. Essendon have dominated the last three.
Kick comes into the corridor to Snelling, has the players queuing up on the outer side, and it's Durham who drifted forward. The change of angles again from the Bombers had the Pies defence all at sea.
Well, we tipped this, Duck.
Look, good news. What are they, two men? Plus 60-something for uncontested possession since quarter time.
Spot on.
And Nick Dacos has been found out a few times defensively today.
This kid's having his best game too. Disposal number 21. Career high for him. Getting better by the week. And he marks inside 50 for the Bombers too. We'll get that in a minute as Durham from 40 out on a 45-degree angle keeps it skinny through from behind.
What I liked about that whole passage, Joe, from defensive 50, they just backed Langford in the one-on-one. He said, okay, they looked up, they analysed, they said, no, he's bigger, stronger, should mark it.
Pendlebury run down into the pocket. He went one way, then Stringer got him holding the ball.
Great call, Duck. Playing to their strength, weren't they? Back the big man in.
Be able to tell his kids that he caught Scott Pendlebury holding the ball. Not too many have done it, Telly.
Having a push and shove earlier on in the game, he'd be very happy. So he's up against the fence, right on the boundary, and he'll kick it from outside 50 on the boundary.
A few have done it today, though, Duck.
This would be massive. Stringer to the city end. Kicks the ball from outside the boundary. brings it back, but not enough through for one behind.
Well, they've just been beaten up around the ball. What's the clearances? Like, they've been fantastic, Collingwood midfield all year, but today they just haven't been able to get it done.
Plus 15 in clearances, plus 27 in contested ball, the Bombers.
Pies, are just going to keep attacking through the corridor. Dacos to Crisp. Dacos has run hard to get it back. Crisp ignored him. Runs through the corridor. Forward handball. Side bottom. Normally makes the right decision. Gave it back to Crisp. Now to Darcy Cameron. They work this one okay. Kick over the top, straight down the corridor. That's how you do it. And it's the sub, Carmichael, who's come on for his first touch.
He played well last week, didn't he? He had
24 kicks.
He refuses the handball, but we know he's going to have a shot. But Chris made that, didn't he, by taking it on. It was like McCleary. So they've just left more runners to take it on today.
That's why, the Pies, they'll just keep going for it in this fourth quarter. Can Carmichael have an immediate impact from 45 out straight in front? He's got it. A much-needed goal for the Pies. And they get it back to 15 points. They're 9-6-60. The Bombers 11-9-75. Still 12 minutes to play in this fourth term.
It's only their third mark inside 50 since quarter time. We keep saying since quarter time because they dominated the first quarter.
100%, Doug. But that sub-rule is like Redmond, and it's worked out okay today. But that fresh player, teams that are getting like their Richmond game, Rioli come on, it's a real disadvantage or an advantage sometimes.
Marks inside 50, both teams.
Yeah, so it's 11-6 Bombers' way, but since quarter time, it's 11-3 Essendon's way.
Dacos, I love the kick in too, Joey, up the corridor. He had, I think it was Quain or wide. It was all alone. He was probably 50 metres by himself, but on the boundary. He said, no, ignored him and went straight up the corridor.
And that's part of the belief system for Collingwood in tight games. Let's keep going here. Anything can happen.
Can that spark the Pies? Josh Dacos picks up the bouncing ball, handballed it back towards his brother Nick. Now he's going to run. He's had a bounce. He's got a player on in Crisp. Crisp's got a runner too. Lipinski inside forward 50. The kick wasn't good. It got over the top. Opportunity. Jamie Elliott tried to spin out of trouble. Kelly under the pump. The ball in the back line and the Bombers will get out. Really good kick looking for Durham. Bianco did brilliantly. Sock it away. Opportunity now. Comes back to Bianco. Left foot. He had side bottom all on his own and he missed him. Through for one behind. 14-point margin. 61 plays, 75.
The two Dacos boys in the middle.
Robbo, Bob Jane T. March, just recap the subs for us, please.
Yeah, well, there's been a lot of noise about the subs, hasn't there? So you got Mason Redmond out of the contest. Internal bruising or bleeding, and Maynard with that shoulder. Carmichael comes in, and also Ham for Essendon.
Kick in from the Bombers, goes long and wide and out of bounds.
Just looking for Dacos. So there's one on the, he's still at half back, Joey, wing.
Some subs are made, or interchange is made. Taylor Adams comes back on. Carmichael's gone straight into the midfield. Draper, beautiful tap down to Durham, but sweating on him was side bottom. Lays the tackle. Jamie Elliott's in the goal square with McGrath on him. Cameron and Draper. There is Adams. Handball smothered from Merritt. Josh Dacos, side bottom. Working in a tight space. Back to Josh Dacos. Couple of clever players. They work together nicely. There's a handball from Carmichael. Not really a good one. Then he tried to kick it forward. Snelling. Under a bit of pressure to the Bombers. Merritt. That's a nice handball to Caldwell. Now to Snelling, and they get Shield in the corridor. Shield should have turned and kicked. Instead, he overhandballed it. Picked off by Pendlebury through the corridor. Johnson has Elliott on the lead, puts it into his path. I like that matchup if I'm a Pie supporter. Elliott on McGrath coming out of the goal square, and he'll have a shot from 30 out straight in front.
Oh, mate. Steve Silvani, Langford, none of them would have stopped that with the turnover.
Well, Essendon, why have they gone back to 8 chains coming out of half back? When correct. You're out, shoulders out, look to kick. It's a mirror image of the first quarter. Ruttenby pulling his hair out. Unnecessary.
Scarlett, none of them would have had a chance to.
Ditchburn.
Who?
Rick Kennedy.
Jamie Elliott, big kick. Sneaks it home. Pies have got 2 on the trot. You know they're not going to die wondering. They will keep coming, and they're back within 8 points. They're 10-7. It's 12. 8 points. 12 points. What is it? 11-7. 60.
8 points.
8 points of margin. 10-7, 67. The Bombers 11-9-75.
It's up on that big screen, Joe,
My
if
back
you want
just
some help.
deserted me for a minute there, Brandy. I got confused.
We might have just got our Amy Clanger.
8 points. There's a lot to take in.
You're right. Once you're out, and you're facing your goal, and you've got a little bit of time and space to use it, that extra handball, you just don't need to use it. You've got to be looking up the ground to
100%
give it
you're
to
out.
forward.
And Josh Dacos on ball here.
Robbo,
He's had a few quality touches.
Bob, don't too much, Robbo.
Been working on Darcy Moore for a long time. He went to run onto the ground, and now they're setting down again, working on calves. So I'm saying he's cramping badly.
Back-to-back goals for the Pies. But the Bombers are going to go inside forward 50, and Quainer again, one-on-one, hasn't lost one. Good mark.
Ever.
Gave it to the run of Josh Dacos. Quick handball finds Jeremy Howe. Going to be run down at centre-half back. His kick was affected. Falling over in the middle of the ground was Phillips. Big tackle laid on the Bombers, and they're going to get it back here, the Pies.
He's going for a Sunday stroll. Zirk Thatcher.
Brodie Mychek gives it off to the silky left boot of Pendlebury. The man who rolls like a Royce, and inside forward 50. A mark is taken by Carmichael. Already kicked the goal in this last quarter. Carmichael was in good hands when Pendlebury had it. This one's much harder than the last one. About 10 metres in from the boundary. 40 out from goal to the punt road end.
And if you're Essendon, you're right, and you say protect the corridor, boys. That's their only way home here, and they're just giving it up.
Nick and Josh Dacos have had 9 between them in this quarter.
He slotted the last one coolly and calmly, and then walked off like he's done it 1,000 times. Right foot's done it again. He's up and about after this one, and the Pies get back to 2 points. 75 plays 73 in favour of the Bombers. Triple M Repco scoreboard.
And any key indicators turned around here, Chu? The contest, clearance.
Yeah, clearances. They've won 3 out of the 4 clearances, but it's their entries, super efficient. They've had 4 out of the last 5, but 5 entries in this quarter for 3 goals to the Maggies.
Well, they're just going through the corridor, aren't they, Doug?
100%.
They've got nothing to lose. They're just going straight down the guts.
And twice they've slipped over in critical position. One Phillips and I forget the other one. So, but they just got to tighten up through there. They turn it over, they'll go back and score.
Gee, a couple of clutch kicks from the young man coming on as the sub.
He doesn't look like missing, does he? That's why he doesn't handball.
He's not worried about the occasion either. He loves it. He looked at the crowd and said, how good's this?
The one handball he had, he buggered up.
So 2 points the margin of the Bombers. Game on here for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. Lipinski. Adams on his back. Players are slipping everywhere in there. Carmichael just goes off the ground. They're just going to surge it forward. Hoskinelli went without it. And then a free kick pushing the back to the Bombers. Merritt takes the advantage. Stringer snuck out goal side. Goes into the pocket. Haven't seen much of Peter Wright lately. Ball goes out of bounds.
I thought there was an opportunity. Stringer take ground and put it through. He was out goal side.
Certainly don't want to be going to the pocket.
72,402 people have not left their seats.
1,500 out.
Cox taps it down to Pendlebury. Snelling wanted it more when he got it. Guelphy just does a little Gaelic kick to the top of the square. Howe got to be smart here. Try to get it towards the boundary line. Hobbs keeps it in, gets it to Guelphy. Peter Wright picked off by Murphy, who throws it on the boot. McCreary in front, still inside defensive 50. Howe did it with some composure, and they clear the defensive 50. Crisp, one-on-one with McGrath, won the contest. Lipinski, back to Bianco. Laverde, the extra defender, and now Zirk Thatcher.
Chips the ball, he's got Durham up. Can they reload the Bombers? They lead by 2.
That was a great kick, composure, find the uncontested mark, settle the game.
Almost 19 minutes gone in the last term. Look at the close one at the G. Durham pumps it in. Peter Wright, but from the side, that's a massive mark by Jones. Hasn't paid it. Umpire calls play on. Thought he had enough of it. Underground handball, the Pies. Clear the area for Murphy. Underneath it, Ridley couldn't mark it. Not sure what McCreary was doing on that occasion. Merritt slipped over. Handball, coughed it up. Went forward, the Pies. Bouncing ball. Kelly's there. Can he keep it in, Kelly? He's got Laverde behind him. He uses him now. Laverde chips the ball And he finds Zirk Thatcher.
Amazing how many players are slipping over. Must be a little bit dewy out there.
Yeah, I reckon since the sun's gone down, I reckon it does seem that way, doesn't it? So who can keep their composure? Hempel had Martin in a fair bit of space. Harry Jones has made space. Takes the mark on the wing. Collingwood is set up well behind the ball. Essendon don't need to be reckless. Goes short and wide to Hind. 6 minutes 10 on the clock. Bombers lead by 2 points. Pies are going to play in another nail-biter. Martin. What are his numbers? Nick Martin.
Nick Martin, Triple M, Red Z, 20 touches and a major.
That's been his average for the season.
Exactly.
One of only 3 players, I think, who averaged 20 disposals and a goal a game. Not bad for a first-year player. Goes long inside 50. Now the Bombers. Peter Wright's in the contest. Lipinski with a crumb. Noble tried to take them on. He's going to be pinned. They've been red hot today, the umpires.
Did he have prior?
He saw it.
He took them on. Yeah. Snelling again. It's been outstanding. What's his pressure racks down there, Juice?
How many tackles for Snelling?
Through the roof. Pressure racks for Snelling. He's racked up 20.
That's why he was third in the BNF last year for the Bombers. He's just going to pop it up to the top of the square. Who's going to fly? Peter Wright tried. Guelphy's been good down at ground level. Darcy Moore. Stringer. He's not going to break through 4 pies. He tried. He's going to get pinged too.
He had Merritt front and square. Should have given the handball out. Got to keep your discipline in the tight finish.
Nick Dacos in the back pocket. Gives it off to Howe. Howe's got a runner in McCreary. Dutchman will get it over the top to Lipinski. Bouncing ball just inside the boundary line. Lipinski short chip pass. Got it to Crisp on centre wing. Magpies are building. Dropping back as Johnson. Lipinski kept running. Now he looks for Johnson. He kicked 3 in the first half. And now he's marked it in the pocket, the young man. The Pies haven't been in front since when, Ash?
Triple M Red Z, the last time the Magpies were in front, 11-minute mark in the third quarter.
What was their biggest lead?
Magpies' biggest lead was 37. Bombers lead by 21, 10 minutes into this term.
Put them 37 points up in the first term to Johnson with his third.
He's a beautiful finisher too.
This for number 4. Ross has backed him in. But Ross was wrong. 3 for 1 behind. That's a 1-point ball game to MCG. 11-9, 75 the Bombers. 11-8, 74 the Pies. 4 minutes and 9 seconds to go.
Well, they got the overlap run back, the Pies, haven't they? Lipinski overlap running, and they're just making the Essendon defence really vulnerable.
Bombers just going to go short. Sure, when you get the chance, we might have a look at the Collingwood. Their run in recent weeks, the close wins. Can they do it again? They trail by a point. They need to find one more goal. Laverde is going to just go straight down the middle. Peter Wright provides the contest. Bianco front and square, throws it on the boot. Hind did well. Critical contest, got it to Durham. His best game as a Bomber. Heppel, half back. Long ball, but Darcy Moore's got his name written all over this. And look at him springboard off half back. Nick Dacos into the corridor again. Crisp, Dacos wants it back. Couldn't get off the mark quick enough. Crisp next to the centre circle. It's going to go wide to Howe. Now they get it to Nick Dacos. Can he find someone inside 50? It's a high ball, top of the square. My check flew. Couldn't take the mark. Ground level Elliott tried to crash through. Bombers lay the tackle. McCreary wrapped up as well. The ball up 40 out from the Pies goal.
Gee, it's fierce out there.
Well done, Guelphy. Guelphy went back with a flight there.
Ball up, 40 metres out from the Pies goal. Punt road end. Bobbling around. Kicked out of mid-air by Draper. Got it into the middle of the ground, but Howe stood tall. And out Mark Jones. Short ball by Howe. Missed the target. Bad turnover. Bombers with the footy. At halfback, Jake Stringer. Handball's wide. Jones set a task. Has to run after it. Does now. He's going to be tackled, but he slung the ball forward. Only as far as Pendlebury, who had a rare fumble. Went back over it. Had to get it out. Tried to kick it. Then he's still on the ground. Bobbled it out towards Dacos. Dacos to Noble. Noble, centre wing. He's got Hoskin Elliott on Joey's man. To Hoskin Elliott. 2 minutes 30 to go.
Just feel they need another tall target down forward. They just got Peter Wright on his own.
The Bombers by a point. Draper, fist at the ground level. Dylan Shear was there, tackled by Johnson, holding the ball. He's beat Big Johnson.
60 out. A lot of players streaming back inside defensive 50. 2:10 on the clock. Johnson's just going to kick a high ball to about 30 out. Bombers are queuing up. It's Guelphy.
Again. He went back with the flight before. The spoil and now the mark.
Peter Wright's back there as well. He uses him laterally.
They've got nothing to go to. They've got to reset here, the Bombers. Where's the tall?
This is the problem. They probably need to go lateral. Durham is the tallest player on the wing. Kick's going to go in that direction. Crisp and Pendlebury are there. Durham flew. Snelling ground level. They want the boundary line, the Bombers. Snelling takes the tackle. Then he had to get it out. He was worried about being pinged holding the ball. Shields forward to the contest. Can he find a mark? He can't, so he's just going to kick it inside 50. And Murphy's going to get back there. Minute 27 on the clock. Pies need to go the full length of the field.
Jeremy Howe almost slipped over. Did slip over. Umpire's going to ping him.
50.
Holding the ball for
It's going to be 50.
No 50.
He kicked the ball away.
It was a late whistle.
He tried to bounce the ball and fell over at the same time, and Jones got him.
Well, we said it was Dewey, but Guelphy, he's saving at one end, but he's leaving a spare Collingwood defender the other.
Normally a pretty good set shot, Ash.
Duck, do you use your 30 seconds and then kick it lateral and waste another 30 seconds?
Nah, you go for the goal,
kick the
Joey.
goal.
If you
You
kick a
take
point,
the glory.
If you kick a point, you give him a chance.
You got to dare to win, Joe. You can't do the Noah Boulder. You got to get it with him. He's got 10 seconds. 9, 8.
22-9 from set shots, Brownie.
Oh, here he comes.
So this for the Bombers win. And a massive day in front of 72,000 people. Jones from 40 brings it back and misses.
That's all right. Defend it.
Give the Pies the opportunity.
Get a punch back and score.
In favour of the Bombers. 45 seconds to go.
Here we go. Pies have got to go length of the field. Darcy Moore takes the mark. He's got Bianco in space on the wing. Jamie Elliott's the only target inside 50. He's going to go that direction. Can he take the mark? He can. He takes the mark.
It'll be after the siren.
There is exactly the same amount of time on the shot clock as there is on the game clock. A point won't be enough.
So he can't play on.
It has to be a goal.
He'll play. If he plays on, it'll be after the siren.
Look at
What's his history?
What's
his history,
Look at
Drew?
Bearsy.
65% converter.
He's going to kick this. He's going to cross the junction of the boundary line and the 50
slightly
metre
out
line.
to his right.
The siren will go. The kick is on its way. You are kidding me. You are kidding me. The Pies have done it again. This is just getting ridiculous. This is not even funny anymore. And they are going absolutely bonkers at the MCG. You would not believe it. The Pies have done it again.
That's as good a goal after the siren as I've ever seen.
This is now just ridiculous. The Pies have snatched it and they win by 4 points.
Well, they took everything on up the corridor, didn't they? And the Bombers let them get through there. Incredible.
It's a good mark by Elliott.
What about the mark and kick from Jamie Elliott?
It was versus 2. They had the +1. They were set up well. But you're right. They needed to be set up for the transition. There's no way someone should have got out goal side. Give up the short one. Don't be beaten out the back.
How Bianco was on the wing all on his own.
They only needed to bring that ball to ground, didn't they? Get a boundary.
100% duck and they win.
Yeah.
And you remember he hit the post, Harry Jones. A metre to the right, they win the game. But just seems everything's going the Pies' way in season 2022.
Craig McRae down on the bench. He's scratching his head. He can't quite believe it. On the Harvey Norman replay, the Bombers players.
Round 16, they beat Gold Coast by 5 points. Round 17, they beat North by 7 points. Round 18, they beat Adelaide by 5 points. And they've now done it again to win this by 4 points.
Well, that's 8 wins under 8 of their 13 wins under 2 goals. But just goes to show that first quarter, you can't give a team. They were exhausted at the end, the Bombers. Their effort to come back just took a lot out of them. Wowee.
Not sure what else we can say.
What does it mean for the ladder, Joey? You're the footyologist.
Two hands all over that. I think the Pies are in the top 4.
They are sitting 4th on the live ladder, the Magpies, 52 points level with Brisbane sitting 3rd, Demons sitting 2nd. Only one game off top spot.
But what about Jamie Elliott? What a moment that was. I mean, the mark to start with, he was under pressure with 2 players on him, and then to go back from 50 on the boundary. We've seen a lot of set shots, but this is the man himself with Channel 7.
Coming in on your approach, you hit it perfectly. honest, I didn't hear it. You can hear the crowd. I actually didn't hear the siren go. I was about to swear. I don't know, to be honest, I'd fly in my head because he's been on to us about goal kicking, and him as a small forward, he relished that, and I just had him in the back of my mind. I don't know why. But yeah, kids are pretty sweet.
Did you know off the boot that it was home?
I felt good off the boot. It did.
Have a listen to this. You've won 9 games in a row, and a lot of those games have had to come from behind and get the job done. How do you keep believing?
I don't know. I mean, I've known Craig for 11 years now, but he's instilled a belief, and we've got a young group as well, and we want to take the game on, and we've got a brand of footy that we want fans to come and watch and know what they're going to get every time they come in. And we've shown it in patches, like first quarter we were unbelievable, and then Essendon came back in the second and third, and then the last quarter it's like we wait till we're behind to get aggressive again. I'd like to be up by more halfway through a game and not play those games, but
if you're up by more, you wouldn't have been able to have the match winner. It's something you dream about as a kid, and you've lived it.
I know, I've seen blokes do it, and I've wanted to be in that moment, but I wouldn't have been able to do it without these blokes, and we fought back in that last quarter. We brought out pressure, we got more aggressive with our ball use, we stood hard down back. It's great win.
Well done, mate. I know you want to get around and well played.
Thanks, Cameron.
How good is footy, and what a celebration it was. So as soon as he left the boot, he put his hand to his ear and walked to the crowd, and then the Pies supporters erupted. Then the Dacos boys jumped up and down behind him with Bianco, and that was a great scene. And I've never heard the Collingwood chant go around quite as loud as what it did about a minute ago. Jamie Elliott, the hero today at the MCG. You've got to console the Bombers. They were gallant today, down by 37 points. They came back, they led by 21 points 10 minutes into the last quarter, and then the Pies machine got going. I thought Pendlebury and the Dacos boys were outstanding. Carmichael kicked 2, so too did Elliott in the last quarter with the winner. And here's Jack Crisp on Channel 7.
So to go back and finish that with so much pressure, that is unbelievable.
You were down by 20 points with about 9 minutes to go, and you almost looked like you took it upon yourself to take the game on through the corridor a couple of times and get the ball forward. Was that something you were instinctively thinking?
Yeah, that's just how I generally like to play my game anyway. It's a bit of run and dare and dash through the guts. I was lucky enough to open up a couple of times, I think, and we were just probably more daring with ball in hand. I've run to the pump a fair bit, second and third quarter, so to be able to regain some composure with the ball in hand was pretty nice.
Good mate of yours, Braden Maynard, he's so desperate. He hurt his shoulder doing what he always does, putting his body on the line. Carmichael comes in, kicks 2 critical goals, but he's just a warrior, isn't he?
Yeah, hopefully it's good news for Braden. He's like heart and soul of the Collingwood, the way we play and the brand of footy that he plays is just attack. It's so good. We love it. We love playing with him every week. And yeah, Josh come on, third game, I think it was, just ice in his veins already. You can see his celebration for goals, he was loving it too.
It means so much to not just this group, but I've never heard the Collingwood fans cheering as loud as they were. You've got a massive supporter base, don't you?
Yeah, it's unbelievable. I think after the last couple of years of COVID, being able to have crowds every game this year has been awesome, and obviously they're loving the brand of footy we're playing. We are too. It's really enjoyable to watch. But yeah, just listen to roars. It's pretty blatant.
Did you see Braden Maynard come off the bench? So he's got his shoulder done, streamed off the bench and jumped all over the top of the Collingwood players as well. He still had half a jacket on. He was trying to get out there. But that was Jack Crisp, and a massive supporter base, Collingwood, as Brownie pointed out.
Look at the bomber, the angry bomber.
I don't know if many of them left at quarter time, Ross, but it was a 37-point deficit, and they dragged themselves off the mat to get back, and they led by 21. 72,000 people here who've seen a great game of footy.
Oh, incredible, wasn't it? It's a cruel game, footy, but just shows, you can't be asleep for a quarter and come up against quality teams. And they just kept attacking through the middle, didn't they? They took it on, they were aggressive, and Essendon went away from their method a little bit. They went back to handball under pressure when they were out, and some shocking turnover goals. Chu might be able to add to that, but the character and the belief system of Collingwood is, just incredibly strong.
Massive. Triple M Amy review. Submit your fan clanger story to amy.com.au for insurance, and you could win Triple M Red Z lending stats. Ash, what did it tell us?
Well, in that fourth quarter, Essendon had a 10-minute block, Ross, where they only took one uncontested mark, I should say, which we know they absolutely smashed Collingwood during quarters 2 and 3. And Collingwood had 5 scoring shots from turnovers in that final term. They kicked 2 goals, 3 as well.
Warm up with a creme brulee at Macca's, a pie or an apple pie for just $1.50 at McDonald's. Choice Hotels around the grounds. There's another game going on at half time.
There is, Brownie. It's St Kilda leading the Eagles by 16 points. Saints 59, West Coast 43.
Triple MVP award for the homealoans.com.au, homeloans.com.au, not the Home Alones, homeloans.com.au, the best and fairest when it comes to home loans. Who's got the votes today?
Yeah, I have it. A tough day to give votes, to be honest. No, it really is, because it was seesawing obviously early, but I'm going to give one vote to Elliott. I mean, at the end of the day, he kicked 2 in the last quarter, Joey. He had 5 disposals, so he was the. Well, no, will you give me that turtle look?
He had 5 disposals and 2 goals.
They were a big
in the last quarter. 2 goals, Joey. That's called a match winner.
Oh.
You're an accumulator. That was a match winner. So I'm going to give him the 1 vote. I'm going to give 2 to Draper. I thought Essendon had most of the best. Draper, I got 2 votes. I just saw his energy all day. And I thought Merritt.
I couldn't agree more.
I thought Merritt was the best player on the ground. He was brilliant from the start to the finish. So I don't think you can begrudge him that. But look, you could have looked through. I thought Chris was fantastic. Adams actually fought back really hard. It
was a difficult day because there was big swings. Though there was no 4th quarter, but I thought Merritt's 3 quarters.
Yeah,
I think you're spot on there in Draper, but. It's a cruel game because who had the shot for us?
Harry Jones.
Harry Jones. We can break it down a bit, but at the end of the day, he kicks that goal from dead in front from 30. They win. He doesn't. They get sieved, and as Elliott just kicks an incredible goal, and that's the game.
You wanted him to pass it off and run down the clock, didn't you?
Well, it was an option. In hindsight, he could have taken 30 seconds.
That's a real negative way to look at footy.
Could have won the game.
If there's an
very
obvious
difficult to get those boys to attack.
But Ross was right. With 40 seconds to go, they had enough time to set up Essendon behind. They should have all been set up defensively. Somehow, Bianco was on the wing all on his own when they had that much time, Essendon, to set up just in case he did miss. That's what they were rude.
Do you think it was an interchange? Because
I want to look at it behind the goals.
I reckon because Essendon had the spare defender, they had the 2+1, and I reckon it's a forward's come off. He's got on, he's got out. But it was the first one. Was it Murphy?
Darcy Moore. I reckon
Darcy Moore. Whoever got our goal side, and he ran into space and kept. That's unforgivable. Yep. I mean, we can say, they're unlucky. You know what? You could control that. That was unforgivable.
So a massive day at the MCG. Collingwood, if you just joined us, with a win up after the siren by Jamie Elliott from 50 metres out on the boundary.
Didn't hear the siren.
Can we cover Raptors' celebration at the back, Brownie?
4-point win to the Magpies.
They erupted at the back. I turned around. They were hugging. They were kissing.
Unprofessional.
Producer. Hey.
We've just had an email about calling over the top. But I thought Joey did a great job calling the winner. I thought I had the Macca's moment sewn up with the goal of Dacos, but I reckon the Macca's moment might be at the end. Have we got a Macca's moment? Are we? Okay, don't worry about that.
Send me another email, sorry.
Perhaps he wasn't working. He was too busy supporting.
So we're just seeing shots of the Maguire family in their box with the Billy Picken jump up out over the edge. Collingwood players still out in the ground. We've got Robbo down in the rooms. We're going to head down there in a minute. We're going to hear the song, and I'd imagine they'll belt that out with some gusto. But just give us the major ball winners, Ash.
Triple M Red Z, 38 to Zach Merritt, along with 9 clearances. 30 to Dylan Shield, 26 to Heppel. Peter Wright, 12 disposals, 3 majors. And for the Maggies, 28 to Adams, 23 to Crisp, and 3 majors to Ash Johnson with just the 6 touches.
Robbo is down in the Collingwood rooms. Come in, Robbo.
Thanks, Brownie. And we've got every official you can imagine down here in the rooms waiting for the players to come in. And they lost Maynard with that shoulder. He had painkillers and he went through a painful experience at 3/4 time. But I tell you what, he'll be smiling when he comes down. And as you said, Brownie, 72,000. These two sides put on a real contest, don't they? Whether it's Anzac Day or non-Anzac days, they tend to get up for the contest. It doesn't matter where they are on the ladder. They'll turn it on. And they gave both mobs a real roller coaster as Pendlebury makes his way in with his children, with his kids. Why not? They've been doing that all year. And what an exciting game, a great brand for the AFL today. Jamie Elliott, the hero, sensational. 50 metres out, you dream of after the siren. They'll cheer him around the song, that's for sure. They really hushed down. Considering the week they've had too with Billy Picken, a really emotional week, and then to get up like this, they'll remember this for a long, long time. So they please the mob, and you earn your earn your freedom as they just hush right down. They do this every week. I don't know why. They get the nod from the skipper. Memorable one.
Very happy Collingwood Footy Club down in the rooms, and a lot of kids in the song too. And when they yelled at that first part, the kids were like, what's going on here? But it was a really exciting game of football, a massive game. Collingwood won by 4 points, but it was all about Jamie Elliott at the end. And here is the last 45 seconds.
Here we go. Pies have got to go length of the field. Darcy Moore takes the mark. He's got Bianco in space on the wing. Jamie Elliott's the only target inside 50. He's going to go that direction. Can he take the mark? He can! He takes the mark.
It'll be after the siren.
There is exactly the same amount of time on the shot clock as there is on the game clock. A point won't be enough.
So he can't play on.
It has to be a goal.
He'll play. If he plays on, it'll be after the siren.
What's his history?
What's his history,
Look at 65% converter.
He's going to kick this. He's going to cross the junction of the boundary line and the 50
slightly
line.
out to his right.
The siren will go. The kick is on its way. You are kidding me. You are kidding me. The Pies have done it again. This is just getting ridiculous. This is not even funny anymore. And they are going absolutely bonkers at the MCG. You would not believe it. The Pies have done it again.
Couldn't quite help himself in the back row there, Ross.
It's hard not to get caught up in it.
Sorry for not being that coachable.
From the MCG today, the Pies have won by 4 points, 12-8-80 to 11-10-76. Thanks to everyone who put it together. We're going to head over to West Coast up against St Kilda. The Saints lead by 16 points. We've got Lockie Reed, Tom Atkinson, Andrew Embley, Xavier Ellis, Josh Garlett and Mark Cometti over there in Perth. Can't wait for that one. Triple M, Rocks Footy.